Welcome to my latest battle report. In this one, He-Man and Skeletor will go at it in this 2,000 point Space Wolves versus Thousand Suns custom battle report. So 2,000 points, Space Wolves versus Thousand Suns, a rivalry that goes back for 10,000 years, but a rivalry that goes back all the way to eternity is the clash for the Castle Grayskull. Hi, Monkey and Stylus.
Hi, Monkey and Stylus.
What's going on?
He didn't say
it.
But what?
Well, you normally say hi, Monkey and Stylus, and then we
Do
go,
I?
hi, Monkey and Stylus.
No idea what you're talking
But
about.
anyway, hello.
Hello.
What's going on?
We're going on. That's what's going on.
Yeah, so this is a strange run. It's been brewing for quite a while.
Yeah.
If you remember, my debut actually on the old YouTubes was my Space Wolves and He-Man defended the bridge against your Death Guard.
Yes.
And so from that, internet comments and that kind of thing spiraled out of control.
Right.
He-Man birthed.
A year later, Skeletor was with the Thousand Suns.
Yes.
Yeah.
And then Stylus decided to create an entire series of characters.
Right.
And released them on his Instagram. Great plaudits, everybody loved it. And then he said, oh, you should do the same.
So if they want to see the pictures of the thing, it's go to
DZTV_Stylus
on Instagram.
Or if you want to see Monkey's Instagram,
I haven't got one.
Okay, so you've made up all the things.
we made up all the things, and we've never fought each other with them. We fought Thousand Suns Space Wolves lots of times.
Yeah.
But we said when we last played, it's like, oh, I'll get a Skeletor. We'll play He-Man versus Skeletor.
Right.
And then lockdown happened, and then 9th happened, and all this kind of stuff. We've never played since with this mess of characters. So this is where it happens.
Okay. So I can tell by the t-shirts that you're definitely He-Man and you're definitely Skeletor.
Yes, that's quite handy. It was just coincidence.
Yeah.
Coincidence, actually.
Yeah.
But you said about the rivalry lasted eternity.
Yeah.
This rivalry has probably lasted longer.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's probably more vicious as well.
So we've got the He-Man Skeletor rivalry. We've got the U2 rivalry.
Yes.
We've got the Thousand Suns Space Wolves rivalry.
Yeah.
We've got loads of custom characters, which will now. There's a thing. You did a thing.
Yeah, little thing.
Now we'll look at the thing. So we've played the thing. Now we've got this battle grid. We're going to be deployed normally, okay?
Yeah.
Thousand Suns versus
Space Wolves.
Space Wolves. He-Man versus Skeletor. On the Castle Grayskull in the middle. Who's this?
Whiplash.
Whiplash. You're going to have to tell me the names.
He's a spawn. His name's Whiplash.
He's a spawn.
He's a spawn.
And he's fighting a squad of guardsmen
Yep.
with Private Adam down there.
Yep.
So they're battling for the control of Castle Grayskull.
This is the skirmish that sets off the larger battle. This is the points. We've got 2,000 points, and this is just the fuse that ignites it.
So Adam's calling for help, Whiplash is, and people come raising in to help.
I don't think a humble private is going to stand up for very long when everything kicks off. I think he can't live. There's no chance.
There's no chance.
He's just a private. He's an ordinary guy.
Yeah.
His pink armour and his glossy blonde hair.
Is he a sergeant or anything? Or
Private Adam. Private Adam.
humble private?
Yeah.
Ooh, yeah, he's definitely gone. So what we're doing is each objective is going to be worth a point at the end of a turn. So if you're on 3 at the end of your turn, you get 3 points. If you're on 3 at the end of your turn, you get 3 points. Boom, 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 boom. Control the objectives because you're trying to control this battle grid. and rack up the points as you go. And then at the end of the game, there's a I forget what it is. Random. Whoever controls Castle Grayskull gets a random boost. So you could come back from behind to win the game. Okay, we're trying to control the battle grid and Castle Grayskull. So 1.1.1.1 and lots of points if you control Grayskull at the end of the game.
He who controls the objectives and controls Grayskull Bastion will be the master of the universe.
Controls the power of Grayskull.
Indeed.
Or something like that. Master of the universe. Yes. So I've set up this battle grid for you. Down this end, we have the swamps of probable death. Okay, so if you go in them, there might be some probable death.
Probable death.
Okay, that's up this end. And up this end, we have the ruins and the woods of despair. So the woods of despair, we'll call this end. And if you go through the woods of despair, then there might be some despairing happening. Despairing, probable death, right? That's the thing that I've added just because it's going to be fun. Here it is, 2,000 points worth of Space Wolves. Loving the old school look here, Mark II Rhino. And you've had this Land Raider forever.
30 years old.
Look at that. Old school Land Raider. That's worth a pretty penny these days, you know. So 2,000 points. Space Wolves have that. They hit on one better when they charge, right?
Yeah.
They hit on +1 to hit.
+1 to hit.
And when the Assault Doctrine's in effect, 6s explode.
Yes, only when the Assault Doctrine's in effect.
Okay, and characters heroically intervene 6 inches, and you can spend a strat, and squads can do it too.
Yes.
Any other Space Wolf things that we need to be aware of?
Not at the moment. There's a few things, but we'll come on to in a second.
Okay, talk us through what we've got.
So, this is probably the worst detachment that you'll ever see, the worst battle that you'll ever see.
Okay.
So, we have He-Man on Thunderwolf. He's my Wolf Lord.
Okay.
He may be delayed in getting to the battle, we're not sure.
Okay.
Next to him,
He's not. He might be off doing something first.
he's probably somewhere else doing something.
probably
first.
somewhere else.
So the CP that I need to spend to give an extra relic, he's probably over this.
Okay. Right.
So, leading the search is Ram Man.
Ram Man.
He's in as a Wolfguard battle leader.
Is he?
Yeah, with jump pack, because Ram Man's special ability in the cartoon is he's got bouncy legs, like springy legs.
Okay.
So he will be riding with the Wolfguard,
Okay.
and the Wolfguard are led by Stratos.
Stratos. Okay.
What you see, what you get, all the weapons are current.
Right.
We've got a unit of Grey Hunters.
Yeah.
Again, what you see is what you get. In a Rhino, a second unit of Grey Hunters, this time led by Fisto.
There's Fisto there.
Fisto.
Yes.
So he's got a great loadout, which is a power fist and a power sword.
Right.
I'm sure that's useful, I think.
Yeah, I think you get +1 attack if you have 2 close combat weapons. Oh, 1 minute, that's heresy.
Yeah. And then we've got riding in the old school Land Raider,
Yes.
is the Blood Claws.
Blood Claws.
So we've got 9 Blood Claws because they're led by Lucas the Trickster.
Lucas the Trickster.
Yeah, so it's a little conversion I made, but I thought he fitted quite well into the ridiculous theme of the day, actually, because he's a bit of a joker.
He is a bit of a joker, yeah.
So, the real strength of the army
Right.
comes in the form of this Imperial Guard detachment.
Yeah.
And this detachment is in place because I wanted to fit in Orko, and he's going to be in the group of 3 Wordvane Psychers.
Right.
So these are really powerful, actually. So, Psychic Shenanigans,
Yes.
they roll on 1d6.
Yes.
But I think if there's more than 3 of it, or 3 or more, they get +1 to their cast. So
Right. Put
Powerful
on
stuff.
1d6. Really powerful stuff, particularly as I'm sure the Thousand Suns will not be able to counter
no,
anything that Orko does.
no, not a clue.
Right.
So we've got Inquisitor Tila.
Tila, yeah.
So we're going to be using the Greyfax data sheet
Yes.
because it fitted quite well. So she's got some stuff and some psychic powers.
Okay.
We have Manny Faces.
Yeah.
He's going to be UR25. Your Blackstone robot.
His face goes round and round.
His face does actually go round and round as well.
Yeah.
Should we see the face go round and round?
Do you want to see the face go round and round?
Do I? It literally does go round and round.
So that's the robot one.
Many faces.
And then he goes the other way for the thingy one. But
Yeah.
anyway, so we've got a Lord Commissar,
Yeah.
Mutatorian Priest
Yeah.
with a 3 Ogren bodyguard
Okay.
in their Chimera ride just for
Okay. Well, so you're bringing them because of these to fill out a detachment, right?
Well, just because of this one guy there.
Just because of that one
Yeah.
guy there.
So,
Right, okay, so that's a... and then there's the Land Raider. So you're going to be running forward with the things and wondering where He-Man has got to. Who knows where he might
Who
be?
knows? So He-Man,
When he turns up.
if he turns up,
Yes.
he has the. I've paid an extra CP for an extra one.
Right. That's proper.
Yeah, so he can have 2 warlord traits.
Proper min-max in there. I like it.
I really am.
I'm trying to fill in the gap because you're scrolling through your phone there to figure out what the hell you gave him last night.
Here we go.
Yes.
So he has the his relic is the armor of Russ,
Right. Okay.
which is the
better save and
2 or 4 save,
Yeah.
and again that's represented by his He-Man shield.
Okay. You
Because
thought about it.
Visual.
I
I
like
need
it.
visual. He's got Saga of the Wolfkin, which means he gets a instead of shock assault being on 1 extra attack, he gets D3,
Right.
and shock assault always counts as being on when he's in combat.
Nice.
And again, if he does a thing, if he kills a model, then it unlocks for 6-inch bubble.
The sagas. That's what they do. Yeah.
Yes. So also the Imperium sword,
Right.
because He-Man Imperium sword, I thought it'd be
Oh yeah.
Really quite fit in.
Yeah.
so that is, the extra attack and the extra strength.
Yeah. Extra attack and extra strength on the charge and re-rolling charges. But I think Thundercat can do that.
They can do
anyway.
that, and he can advance and charge because he's
Right.
in the calf. But if he ever turns up,
Has he got anything?
Ram Man has one. Yes,
Ram Man has one.
Ram Man has one. He has the. He's got a relic. No warlord trait, but he's got a relic called the Wolfenstone,
Okay.
which means extra punches for people around him.
Right, here we have the Thousand Suns. So all is dust is a thing if you take 1 damage weapons, and they get +1 to cast on psychic tests.
They do, yes.
And then there's another Thousand Suns things. Rubikai are fearless and
These
have
are
5 up invulnerable saves.
Yeah, immune to morale. Anything. All these have 5 up invulnerable saves too, as does the Dreadnought. Anything Arcana
Legion, right.
Astartes. So
Right.
just the Spawn and the Zangor don't have it.
Are you taking a particular cult today?
I am. I'm taking the Cult of Duplicity.
Cult of Duplicity.
Cult of Duplicity, because it feels like a very duplicitous kind of thing to do.
Right. Brilliant. Do you want to talk us through what?
Yes, we'll begin. This is Skeletor.
Right.
He is the Exalted Sorcerer.
Is he there?
He is there, yes.
He-Man isn't there.
He's always there. He's They wouldn't do anything they was told if he wasn't there to tell them to do it.
Okay.
I've given him a command upgrade, the Paradigm of Change, which increases, I think, his fightiness, which is going to be useful against Space Wolves.
Okay.
Extra attacks and possibly wounds, yes. So he's a bit more tough.
Right.
The other Evil Exalted Sorcerer is Evil Lyn. Obviously, couldn't be an actual Thousand Suns, so she's a Phalanite Inquisitor. So one of the Evil Inquisitors.
Okay.
Because otherwise this wouldn't make sense. That's Evil Lyn. She's a Exalted Sorcerer, and I've given her the command upgrade Dilettante, so she can have 2 relics. Her relics are the Athenanian Scrolls, which is pick a spell and roll 3 dice to cast it.
Okay.
And she's got the Umbralific Crystal, which is a redeploy relic as well. And should remember his relic is the Conniving Plate, which any enemy that fights him has to halve the number of attacks go into him.
Okay.
Which would be quite nice against Space Wolves. And the CP is because she has the extra relic, and the Dilettante gives her an extra relic. So she's
Nice.
taking 2, and he gets the one that comes free.
Okay.
Moving along, I've got 2 sorcerers. These are the exalted ones, and you can take other sorcerers, kind of apprentices, outside of the Force Org. This is a battalion.
Yes.
So this is 1 HQ. This is Triclops. Again, he's got a Force Sword, and he is the command upgrader Battle Psycho, which again makes him hit a bit harder. So
Brilliant.
he's combat orientated. And the other one is Trapjaw. He is a Terminator sorcerer. This is representing his Combi Melter, and he has a Force Axe.
Okay.
Moving along to the troops now, we've got this is Stinkor, Master of Stink. He is a leader of a squad of rubrics. They've all got flamers. They're
Okay.
warp flamers. It's -2, representing the foul stench that comes out of his gushing thing.
Okay.
And over here we have another squad of rubrics led by Spikor.
Spikor.
Spikor, Master of Spikes.
Mm-hmm.
And in the centre we have Merman leading some Scarab Cult Terminators.
No man's got lots of tentacles.
He is. He's a Mermanator.
He looks a bit a mermanator.
There you go.
I like what you did there.
I'll give him this thought as well.
I'm a fan of dad jokes. It's half spawn, half. He's halfway through the flesh change look.
Yeah, he's not.
Yeah.
He's committed.
Yeah.
So he has also got the command upgrade of Rites of Coalescence, which means anyone in the squad that's not on full wounds will go up to full wounds at the start of the command phase.
Okay.
Over here, leading the beasts is Beastman. He is just a Zangor champion, and this is 20 Zangor here.
Brilliant. Beastman leading the beasts.
Over here is just a non-Skeletor Dreadnought,
So-
old school style of Chaos Dreadnought. He's
So we've got
helmet.
loads of old school models. Old school Dreadnought, old school Land Raider. 1 minute, what's this stuff?
Over here, these are Spawn. These are my special
They
ones.
look a bit like wolves.
They're the ones I bring when I'm fighting Chaos Space Wolves, because they're the ones that have been torn and mutated. If you see, there's a little Chaos Space Wolf shoulder plate there and bits and bobs. It's,
Yeah.
We capture them, we torture them, we turn them into these brazen craven beasts and use them as spawn.
Well, because the Calyx Helix prevents Space Wolves from becoming full spawn.
It does. So they can't be real spawn.
They can't be real spawn. When they mutate all the way, they turn into this. And when you say you bring these when you're only torturing Space Wolf players, I know for a fact that you bring these only when you're torturing Monkey.
He's the only Space Wolf player who'll play me. And they're being led by Clawful, who in this case is just the head of the spawn.
Brilliant.
Over here we just have 2 rhinos with combi melters and a Chaos Land Raider.
Okay.
And that's everything.
Okay.
Oh, and he's got an extra CP because he's going in Strategic Reserve. That's the relic and the rest is mine.
He's going. Why is he going to Strategic Reserve? What's the point of that?
Well, I'll tell you, it's narrative is the point. Because I can get 9, 9, and the 2 leaders can go in a Rhino.
Yeah.
5 of those can go in the Land Raider,
Yeah.
which means the Beast will run alongside, that can amble alongside, he'll go in Deep Strike, and he'll come alongside. So the whole thing is sweeping forward to catch Grayskull.
Brilliant.
So like a nice clean battlefield to start with.
Brilliant. And we're deploying for this 2,000 point game to battle for the power of Grayskull. The Thousand Suns are on this. Oh, one thing I need to mention as well. We're going to be, even this is narrative, we are going to use the match play balance data slate for Armor of Contempt because I think most people are using it now. So, yeah, that's a thing. Right, Stylus, talk me through your deployment. You've got some out here.
Some out here ready to face the swamps of probable death.
Yes.
We've got the 5 Terminators inside the Land Raider.
Right.
We've got Skeletor and the 5 Rubrics with out the flames with the normal guns inside here.
Skeletor himself.
Skeletor himself. Evelyn with Stinko and the Flamers is in this Rhino.
Right.
Dreadnought Spawn over here.
Anything in reserve?
Got a Terminator in the Teleportarium and a regular Sorcerer in Strategic Reserve.
Okay. So you're racing towards the Castle of Grayskull to help him out because he's beating up some...
He's going to eat all those guardsmen.
Eat all the
So
guardsmen.
this is when they bring the ketchup.
Monkey,
Hello.
you've put the jumpy dudes in reserve.
Yes.
What are they called again?
Wolf Guard.
The Wolf Guard with jump packs in reserve with
Yep.
the guy with the springy legs.
Ram Man. He's
Ram Man.
Yeah. Springy legs / jump pack.
Okay.
For these purposes.
Likes noodles.
And then your deployment?
Yeah. So it's quite complicated. So you have to keep up on this one.
Right.
Rhino there.
Yep.
With some guys in.
Yeah.
Land Raider there with some blood clothes in.
Yeah.
Rhino there with some guys in.
Okay.
All of the guard dudes are in the Chimera.
Yes.
And then I've got the dangerous, deadly Woodvane Psychers at the back with Manny faces protecting
That's
them.
so Orko or whatever his name is.
Orko, yeah, Orko.
Orko.
Orko and his band of Psychers. So
Okay.
this is the real counterpunch. So
Yeah.
watch out.
Right, you ready to roll off to see who goes first?
Good
Yes.
luck.
Okay, good
Good
luck,
luck.
people. It's Space Wolves, turn 1. Well, actually, you get to
Hang on.
choose because you've
Hang
got
on.
the higher number, so you get to choose whether you want to go
I'll,
first or second.
I think I'll go first.
Okay. At the end of the Space Wolves movement phase, they're on 1, 2, 3 objectives. So at the end of the turn, that'll be 3 points. I have noted that as yet, you haven't moved anything through the swamp of almost probable death yet, or the Forest of Despair. So things don't happen to you. Maybe Stylus will be the first person to discover how wonderful it is to move through. And the Land Raider moves round. So we now have a shooting phase. Nice and simple. When we start the shooting phase, Monkey.
Let's start with the Rhino.
Yeah.
So a Stormbolter.
Okay.
Um,
Firing at these guys?
yeah, I mean, it's the only thing we hit in it.
Sure. Okay.
So hit on 3s.
Okay. It's 2 hits. They're toughness 4, right?
They are.
That's a wound.
A wound. I have a 5-up invulnerable save.
That's a death. Coming from here to the Land Raider.
Yeah, so we're going to shoot everything in this. So that's the 4 last cannons, hunter killer missile, and the heavy bolters, and the Stormbolter.
Okay. At the Land Raider.
No, we're going to shoot into the Rhino.
The Rhino. Why?
Because that's Skeletor's ride.
Okay.
And he can walk the rest of the way.
I will engage my arcane smokescreen for ACP.
-1 to hit
Minus 1
then. Okay. Forced to hit with Lance
What was
Cannons.
the hits? We're going to go there.
Okay, go in here. And that is 4 hits. The arcane smokescreen does deflect one of them,
It does.
but the other 3 slam home. Can they penetrate the hull on 3s? One of them can.
Should we do one of those CP things?
Yeah, I think that might be
Let's do
useful.
a CP thing.
Yeah.
CP.
Okay, 2 of them can.
2 of them can.
5 of them vulnerable saves.
5 invulnerable saves.
And you make one
One.
fail one. Do you want to do a CP thing?
No, I wouldn't use CP in a narrative game. I think that'd be very poor form.
Yeah?
D6.
That's what you get.
That's 1 damage.
If only had CP.
Heavy bolters. Hit 5 times.
Pretty good.
5's to wound. With armor contempt, that's 4 up saves. Which you make.
I make.
Stormbolter caused an extra wound. Now we have the HK, which hits and doesn't wound. So at the end of a Land Raider shooting everything at a Rhino, only 2 wounds caused. The Chimera here has popped smoke, and that is the end of your shooting phase.
That's it.
Now we're on to the fight phase. Whiplash is fighting Private Adam up here on Castle Grayskull. Now it's your turn.
Yes.
So defenders fight first, which means Whiplash gets to go first.
Whiplash is a spawn,
Yes.
which means we just choose, or we decide. We don't choose or decide. It tells us.
Zinch tells us.
Zinch tells us what abilities he'll have.
Okay.
He has, he can reroll wounds,
Reroll wounds.
and he has 2d3 attacks.
Okay.
He has 4 attacks.
Right.
He'll be hitting on 4s,
Right.
hits twice.
Yes.
He will wound on 3s, rerolling. Rerolling that one. No,
Okay.
only 1. 1 minus 2.
-2.
2 damage.
Dead guardsman.
Dead guardsman.
First
Sorry,
blood to me.
But you get to fight back now. Why is there a dog in there? You don't normally get dogs in platoon squads.
No, well, He-Man's pet, Cringer.
But He-Man isn't here.
No, I know, but
Adam's pet.
Adam's pet, Cringer.
Right.
And he just is his loyal companion. So
Yeah.
hopefully he sticks around as well. But,
So does he have any stats?
yeah, so we're going to treat him as a Fenrisian wolf.
Are we?
As of
Okay.
now.
As of now.
Okay. Yeah, that makes sense, yeah. 8 guardsmen hitting on 4s. And winning on 5s. A wound.
1 5-up save.
The spawn takes a wound.
To wound.
Then Prince Adam, Private Adam, 2 attacks. And he hits once. Can he wound on a 5 with his power sword? He can, and that's not a save. How many
Not a
wounds
save.
does Spawn have?
He has 4 wounds. He's
Four
got 2 left now.
And now we have the doggo. Cringer has 3 attacks.
Hit on 3s.
Nice. And winning on 5s as well?
Yep. Toughness 4. Strength 4, sorry.
Toughness 5.
Yeah.
So, on 5s.
Yeah. 2 wounds. AP.
-1.
6s to save.
Oh, look at that! He hangs in there. And 1 wound remaining. While Private Adam heroically battles on top of Castle Grayskull. That is the end of the Space Wolf's turn. He's a long way from being rescued yet, and now the Thousand Suns can respond in turn 1. Here we are after the Thousand Suns movement phase. These guys haven't gone through the Forest of Despair yet, and neither has the Dreadnought or the Rhino. Up in the middle, though, the Land Raider has gone through the Swamp of Almost Probable Death.
Yes.
Don't roll a 1. Have you got dice?
I've got a dice. But
Okay.
I don't fear probable death.
No? You don't roll a 1?
Haha.
Something bad might happen on a 1. And these fellas also avoided the Swamp of Almost Probable Death as well. That is the end of your movement phase. When 2 tribes go to war, we're clashing against each other and the money is all you can score and things. So where are we starting the shooting phase? Beginning with Melter.
Yes, I have a melter, and then we also have a combi bolter that's not part of the melter. That will also go into that.
Okay, to Chimera.
Into the chimera. Melter first.
Misses. Moving next to the Land Raider.
Land Raider, I've spent a CP on Ensorcelled Infusion,
Right.
which improves the AP of its weapons.
And what are you shooting at?
That rhino over there in the swamps of
Pop in smoke!
I'm going to pop smoke.
probable death.
Okay,
Forced to hit them.
forced to hit. That worked. It
That
stopped 2 of the hits hitting. And it doesn't
Wow.
wound. Man, boy.
No.
No.
And now the heavy bolters hitting on 4s. There
Okay,
we all are.
4 hits there. 5's to wound. So the thing that you spent improves the AP by 1.
So now they're -2.
Back to -1
One.
with their armor of contempt, right?
Yeah.
So forced to save. You take 2 damage. And there's no more guns coming off the Land Raider, which is interesting because he did 2 damage to your Rhino, you did 2 damage to his Rhino
It's been
with a
devastating.
Land
Raider.
Raider.
Going
Yeah.
back and forth here.
We're coming round here.
Yeah, the melter can't really see anything at all, but I've got a heavy plasma gun.
Right.
Or a Hellbrute plasma gun.
Firing into
Fire into this rhino here.
-1 to hit because of the trees.
Okay, this is the number of shots I'll get first.
That's really cocked.
That's really cocked.
Let's roll it on the flat thing here.
I was aiming for the flat thing.
There's
Two shots.
2 shots.
Hitting on 4s because of the through the trees. No,
they
nothing.
miss.
But I don't burn myself up, so that's nice.
Okay.
And that's all the shots I've got.
Is that the end of the fight, shooting phase?
That's the end of the shooting phase.
That's the end of Space Wolves versus Thousand Suns turn 1.
What a grudge.
Everyone
2 small
has...
armor plates taken off the rhinos.
Yeah. Everyone has 3 points each. Yes, and defenders get to fight first. In the middle, as Prince Adam tries to take out this spawn. Prince Adam swings his power sword. And and he hits twice. What a legend. He will kill this spawn. Not a spawn, what's it called?
Whiplash.
Whiplash on a 5. He will strike him down, and Prince Adam strikes Whiplash down. And as Prince Adam takes out Whiplash, he screams, "By the power of Grayskull!" And the guardsmen look on in amazement as Adam disappears and He-Man on Battle Cat come thundering out of Castle Grayskull right in front of the Land Raider as we go on to Space Wars turn 2. So it's 3 points each for holding on to the objectives. Here we are at the end of the Space Wolves phase. That Rhino is staying on that objective back there. And the unit inside the Chimera staying inside the Chimera?
Yep.
Okay, the guardsmen shuffle round to the top of Castle Grayskull. And over here they're a unit of...
Bloodclaws.
Bloodclaws get out of the Land Raider. He-Man regroups in them, ready for a glorious charge. And in the backfield, some Wolfguard have dropped in from Deep Strike with Ram Man. And because of the barricades and stuff, that would be an 8-inch charge instead of a 9-inch charge. However, on this side of the battle grid, this squad have disembarked from the Rhino and have come slogging through. It's -2 to move through all this, but slogging through the swamp of almost probable death. So there's 10 models there. So roll 10 dice and try not to roll any ones.
Okay, one's bad. Are they?
Ones are bad.
One's good or are they bad?
No, ones are bad.
Okay.
In the swamp of almost probable death.
Oh,
So you see those 3 ones?
Yes.
You can pick 3 models and they're removed as casualties as they're sucked down into the swamp of almost probable death, which was certain death for
Glug,
3
glug,
of them.
glug.
Glug, glug. Vehicles will get immobilized, and it's basically the old dangerous ground from Horus Heresy. Vehicles will get immobilized, and infantry models may get sucked off into the swamp. So where we start in the psychic phase, Stun Orca is in psychic range.
Yes.
And can smite that rhino there. You need a 4 on 1 dice.
On 1 dice. Are we ready for the psychic power?
Do you have any denies right now,
I
Stylus?
actually have no psychers on the table.
Okay, D3 mortal wounds.
So have I just out-psyched the Thousand Suns?
You just did.
Are we ready?
Yes. For 3
my
mortal
goodness.
wounds. It's the power of Grayskull right there.
It is the power of Grayskull.
Yeah.
And friendship.
Yeah.
Except there's no friendship here today.
So starting the shooting phase with a Chimera, Heavy Flamer, D6 auto hits, which wound on 5s. No wounds.
Nope.
Multi-laser. Hits once. Wounds on a 5. Doesn't wound. Chimera whiffs. Then we move from the Chimera to this squad of Bloodclaws firing at the Land Raider, which pops smoke, no wounds caused. Across to this squad, which is firing all the bolter weaponry into the Zangors. But there is a Melter Combi Melter down on this side, which can aim in at the tank. So these will hit the Land Raider on 4s, firing through the smoke screen there, and both of them hit. Wound the Land Raider on 4s, and one of them wounds. 5 up, 1,000 Suns, invulnerable save. No. D6 damage on the Land Raider. It's the big 6. The Land Raider takes a critical hit and is on 10 wounds remaining. Now all the bolter weaponry. Rapid firing on 3s. And 4s. And that's 2 wounds.
2 invulnerable saves. 1 invulnerable save, mate.
Then the Rhino fired in, causing 2 more wounds, 2 more 5 up and vuns.
Make them both.
Nice. Right, where are we going to now, Monkey?
So, Manny faces. at the
Manny
back.
faces, yes.
Manny faces. He's shooting at the Rhino.
Right,
And he's got a Mark 1 assault cannon,
right, okay,
which is heavy forward, you know.
okay,
So he hits on 3s.
okay.
And then it's...
It's an assault cannon, is it?
Yeah, but it's only strength 5. So,
Oh.
wound on 5s.
It doesn't wound. Then we have firepower from the Rhino here, which could draw line of sight to the spawn on the edge, putting 1 wound on. And the last thing left to fire, I mean, some incidental firepower at the back, but the last thing left to fire now is the Land Raider. Have you made up your mind? Because you've been and ahhing.
For about
A few moments
later. So I think I'm going to go for the Rhino, because the Land Raider's got the magic smoke on there, or whatever it might be.
Yes.
So we're just going to pump everything into the Rhino, because I want to see Skeletor walk the rest of the way to Grayskull.
Okay. Fair enough.
So,
last cannons?
last cannons first.
Yes. And you hit all the times.
It's not bad, is it? It's not bad.
And you wound 3 of the times. 3 5-up invulnerable saves coming up. 1 made. That's 2d6 damage, and there's
Do I
5.
want to use a reroll?
You're going to use a reroll?
I think in a narrative game it's proper to use a reroll at the narratively appropriate time.
Yeah.
No.
Get out.
Doesn't help you.
Are we ready?
Yes. And that is 7 damage. That is a dead Rhino,
Does it blow up?
which
No.
doesn't blow up. How many fellas are inside it, though?
Got 10 fellas inside it.
With Skeletor.
With Skeletor.
I was hoping it was just Skeletor by himself.
So don't roll any 1s, otherwise they get sucked down into the swamp of almost probable death. And how many 1s did you roll?
3.
Ooh. So at the end of the shooting phase, the first of the armor is cracked open and Skeletor is on the table. He-Man is on the table. Now we're going on to the charge phase. Lining up some perfect charges here. Where would you like to start, Monkey?
Let's start with the Wolf Guard at the back.
Right,
They did plan on charging the Rhino,
right,
but some tactical shenanigans means that it's a 12-inch charge, so probably too far.
right.
Tactical shenanigans mean you
Eliminate
blow up my
charge.
Rhino.
Yeah, I did blow up the Rhino. So they're going to charge into the Land Raider.
Okay, you only need an 8 because you get to that side of the barricade, which is quite cheeky, really.
Yes.
You're going to charge damage, are you?
Yes.
Yeah. Ooh, thinking about Overwatch?
Thinking about it. Let's do it.
So we don't normally fill Overwatch because nothing happens, but then you just roll 2 6s with las cannons.
Indeed.
So 2's the wound. And those are 5-up saves because of
Armor of Contempt.
Armor of Contempt. Or you can put them on the invulnerable save guy,
They've
the shields.
4 up on the shields.
Okay.
So,
Okay.
one at a time.
Yes. Yes.
Oh.
Next one.
No.
Let's CP this one, boys. Let's CP this one.
Chippy, that one, okay.
Yeah, why not?
Well, he's okay.
Damn it.
And then we'll go on to the heavy bolters and things. Heavy bolters missed, no damage caused with Overwatch, a heroic shield held high, and now we have an 8-inch charge. And that's a 7.
Blinded by the las flash, so you're confused.
Yeah.
No CP because I've spent a CP.
Oh, that was foolish.
Mistakes were made.
Yeah,
in the charge phase.
Yeah.
Okay, so that charge is a bust.
Okay.
Coming to this squad, which is a 7-inch charge, we measured on the Land Raider.
Well, let's charge with Ram Man first because he's
Raman,
a character,
okay.
which is slightly longer, I think.
Yeah.
Do me the honours, please.
We'll roll 2d6 and we'll see
Let's have a
if
see what he does.
see what he works. Raman won't get in.
No bounce in his step.
Right,
Right.
this squad.
There's a squad and there's a character.
Right.
So let's do the character first.
Who's the character?
Lucas the Trickster.
Okay.
Are you ready?
7-inch charge. I can't see it. You
That's
rolled
a-
it under the Land Raider.
That's a 6.
Okay,
Is
so
Overwatch-
Lucas doesn't get it.
Is Overwatch still active?
Or what's
No, Overwatch only works against a unit because he's done a shooting attack, right? So like in the shooting phase, you don't shoot with this and then shoot with this again and then shoot with this again,
I
right?
see.
So it's like a shooting attack. It's done its shooting attack.
Blood Claws.
Blood Claws, they need a 7.
He'll never make the charge, it doesn't matter. He's made the charge.
That's the charge.
Okay.
And then He-Man,
He-Man.
he fails the charge. Oh no, he's got Imperium Sword, which is a reroll. +1 strength attack and things, yeah.
Look at the gears in your mind working. How do you make that happen?
He makes the charge.
Oh.
So He-Man and the Blood Claws go charging into the Land Raider. Now we're coming across to the Swamp of Probable Death. It's a 7-inch charge because of the terrain. And you make the charge as well. And how many models are left there? There's 7, right?
Yes.
Every time you move in or out of the swamp, it's probable. Death is probable. Don't roll any 1s.
I thought it was just a one-time
No,
hit.
no, it's not a 1. Every time you move through, you don't roll any 1s. They heroically come charging through. So 3 charges made. Monkey's going to start down here because Land Raiders can't fight back.
Yeah, but before we do, are we saying now this is the end of the Space Wolves charge phase?
That is the end of the charge phase.
Okay, well I think in that case, Skeletor would like to heroically intervene
What?
into the Chimera.
What?
When he disembarked, he was within heroically intervention range.
Yeah.
It's the end of the enemy's phone. He will now heroically intervene into that.
It's beautiful. It's a beautiful thing. That try and smack open the Chimera. Okay, so let's fight. Grey Hunters attacking with chainswords first. So 18 attacks on the chainswords. Hitting on 2s because they are Space Wolves. And forced to wound.
9 hits taken, so these minor saves on the invent of 5 up.
Ooh.
A save, all but 4.
Then power swords on the pack leaders and wolf guard battle leaders hitting on 2s. And these are wound on 3s. And that's 4 more wounds, Stylus. 4 more invulnerable saves.
Invulnerable saves.
And so 7 died in total. From this fight, we're moving to the center. He-Man on the Thundercab, hitting the Land Raider, spending 2 CPs, 1 on the Emperor's Executioners, 1 on Savage Strike. He starts off with 4 attacks. He gets an extra 1 from Imperium Sword, plus D3 because of his Saga. So he's hitting on 2s with his Thunder Hammer. No, his massive sword, sorry.
Thunder Hammer.
Yeah, but he's He-Man. He should have a big sword.
Snap it
His
off.
sword is there.
Oh, he's got the sword. What?
Well,
Oh, I see. The sword is strapped to the side.
and it actually counts as a chainsword because I bought a chainsword, so he gets 1 extra attack as well.
Oh, okay.
Which is nice.
Okay. So, yeah, he hits on 2s with the hammer. And he re-rolls hits with the Emperor's Executioners. Now, it's a Thunder Hammer versus a Land Raider. So it's forced to wounds, but plus 1 to wound with Savage Strike. And then Monkey just reminded me he's got Imperium Sword, so it's plus 1 strength on the charge. So instead of 3s to wound with Savage Strike, well, that'd be, instead of forced to wound, it'd be 3s to wound, and that makes it 2s to wound. And with that, you're re-rolling all fair wounds. So 2s to wound, re-rolling all fair wounds.
Wow.
You don't need a re-roll. Now, it's AP minus 2, which becomes AP minus 1 because of Armor Contempt. So 3 up saves, Stylus.
3 up saves.
Yes.
I can make them all.
Yes. He's doing 3 damage. You failed 2,
Two.
which is
That's
6
6
damage on the Land Raider, putting it down to 4 remaining. What's going on?
1 attack for his extra chainsword
Okay,
in the
yeah,
scabbard.
sure, yeah.
Hit on 2s.
Which is the big sword, right?
And then
It'll be forced to wound.
forced to wound.
Yeah.
With a chainsword.
Yeah.
On Land Raider.
2 up save,
Aha.
which he makes.
And then he's got 3 attacks.
Mum's calling.
Sorry.
And then the mount, yes. Battle Cat,
Hits on 2s.
yes. And wounds on 4s because it affects Battle Cat as well. Strat. Instead of 5s, 4s.
Does indeed.
Yeah. And you can re-roll. What's the AP?
AP is minus 2.
Minus 2. 3 up
Minus 1,
saves.
3 up saves. Aha!
Battle Cat can't scrape his way through the hull. So we're on to the Blood Claws. There's a Power Fist in there. Hitting on 3s. And you can re-roll hits because of Lucas.
Lucas the Trickster.
Okay.
He's the Blood Claw hero, don't you know?
Okay, I didn't know, no. Right,
Actually, right.
2 hits. Winning on 4s. A wound, a 4 up save. And that's another 2 damage.
I'll ride my luck. I'll take that.
Yeah.
He can't help with chainswords.
Okay. Then all the chainswords. 7 remaining models. They have an attack each, plus chainsword, plus shock assault, plus berserk fury. This is 28 attacks.
So hitting on 2s.
Yep.
Re-rolling because Lucas is watching on.
Yeah.
And he's their hero. You ready?
Yeah. Okay. Doesn't He-Man give reroll hit rolls of 1 as well?
He does actually, yeah. So
So after the reroll, 1 missed. Here we are, wounding on 6s then. With all the chain swords. How many did you get? I see 4? 5?
5.
5. 5 2 up saves because of armor and contempt. Only 2 wounds remaining. Don't roll 2 1 Stylus.
Before I roll these, any other shenanigans the Space Wolves have, they can just pull out their pelts.
I don't think so.
This is it now, so I just have to save
I think
these.
it is. Okay.
Okay.
5 2 up saves.
Yes. You saved them all. And the Land Raider is on 2 wounds remaining. That's it for the charging units. Now Skeletor and the Zangors can strike back.
Okay, these are all my dice now. I have 11 Zangor left, led by Beastman.
Okay.
They are putting their attacks in. They have 2 attacks each, and he
Yep.
has 2 attacks base and an extra 1.
Can't this low? They can't fight though,
I
right?
don't think they can because they're not within an inch of someone who's within an inch.
Yeah.
One moment.
I outrule Stylus. Yay! Just look at this.
They're piling in.
Get out.
You're right, 2 of them cannot fight.
Didn't you pile in properly?
I did not pile in properly.
He's just
I
making
thought
moves
we-
up his balls on.
Okay, this number of attacks minus the 2 at the back who can't fight. Thank you, Monkey. Hitting on 4s. Okay, that many hit, they will wound. The strength force will wound on 4s.
Yes.
Okay, and there is -1, but Armor of Contempt will kick in, so make a normal armor save throw for 6.
6 throw-up saves. Oh, you're coming over here.
Yeah.
Yep.
Wait for it.
Ready?
Yes. Oh, 1 dies and 1 takes a wound. What about Beastman?
Beastman's had his turn, he just had an extra attack.
Oh, it's in there with
He was in there with him, he's just
the
a really
leader.
fancy leader with the Zangor.
Okay. After the Zangor take out one of the Space Wolves, the Land Raider revved its engines, failed to injure anyone, and now we're down to Skeletor.
Yeah, a little drive-by on the Chimera.
And he's, what is he
Paradigm
really?
of Change.
Paradigm of Change.
It's a command upgrade for an Exalted Sorcerer.
Okay.
Gives him an extra wound and extra attack. So
Oh.
he's on 6 attacks now, hitting on 2s for being an Exalted Sorcerer. One
Okay.
miss, 5 get through.
Okay.
His 4th stage gives him strength 7,
Right. That's toughness 7 then.
Toughness 7.
falls to wound. And that is
2 wounds.
2 wounds at -1.
Come with it.
1 gets through, D3 wounds. 1 wound, there you go.
So he rings the bell on the side of the Chimera, gives it
Yeah.
a gentle tap, and lets them know he's on the outside. That is the end of the fight phase, I think.
It is, we've got
That
some
is the end of
morals to
everything.
take.
We have got some morales to take. Didn't lose any here. You lost 3 there, but they're fearless.
The Zangor certainly aren't fearless.
The Zangors aren't fearless. They lost 7.
Yeah, I think I'd better spend 2 CP on Insane Bravery,
Okay.
so they're not going to go anywhere.
And strangely enough, because 3 of the Space Wolves got sucked off the battle grid through the swamp of almost probable death, and 1 died in combat, then 4 have failed. 4 have disappeared this turn. And you're rolling, Monkey.
I know.
You're not doing the insane bravery thing.
Nah, we'll be right.
You'll be all right. Okay. You're all right. We'll say that's an 8. We'll say that 4 plus 4 is an 8.
Leadership 8.
Leadership 9.
Leadership
Alright.
9.
Because the Wolfguard battle leader.
Ah.
Okay.
No, it's not 9. I think it's 8. It's 8. Sorry.
8 for normally for Space
I'm trying
Marines,
to
yeah.
cheat.
So at the end of your turn, you get another 3 points. The combat has now been drawn. But there are some Rubikai inside this, Scarab Cult Terminators. There are some Rubikai over here as well. Stylus has a reserve.
I do. I've got a couple of sorcerers in reserve.
A couple of sources in reserve, yes.
These are outside of 3.
Yes, but it's his turn next, so
Yeah,
he can
I
move
get
back.
to have a turn.
You can fall back.
Yeah,
He can fall back, but he can't. If he remains in combat, he can't because he can't go further away.
yes.
So you could fall back before out of combat then. So
Yeah. Thank you.
it is what I'm saying.
Honestly, behind the scenes here,
Top
there are
tactical tips from Monkey there.
many, many layers of rivalry going on here as we go on to Thousand Suns. Turn 2. Okay, here we are after the Thousand Suns movement phase. Before we do anything, who's her?
This is Evil Lynn.
Evil Lynn got out of the Rhino to join the spawn, and she stepped through the Forest of Despair. Don't roll a 1. She doesn't roll a 1. She's fine. She doesn't feel any despair. Do you want to talk us through your movement phase? What's the plan here?
Okay, well, the plan is Evil Lynn went through the forest and didn't despair.
Yes.
She joined up with the Spawn, who continued their arc around the forests here.
Okay.
I'm still on the objective. The Rhino's parked itself on that one there.
Okay.
The Hellbrute has moved back here to try and shoot and get into the mix over here.
All right.
As has the Stinko's band of Warp Flame rubrics, who disembarked and moved over there so they can spew down on that kind of stuff.
Spew down.
Spew down. It looks like Warp Flamers, but it's stinky, stinky stuff.
Stinky flamers.
Stinky. Speaking of which, the Mephitic Merman has disembarked with his Scarab Cult Terminators from the Land Raider, ready to go in there. The Land Raider has stayed in combat with
Oh.
them. Over here, as has Skeletor, he's stayed in combat with the Chimera. There's only 9 wounds to go. If he does 1 a turn, then we'll have it done by the end of the game. And the rubrics have just gone around here because there's an objective.
There's an objective
There's
to
an
steal.
objective there.
Interesting.
Don't know what to do about the Land Raider. I'm just ignoring that for the moment.
Okay.
But over here, we deep struck our Terminator Sorcerer. He's 9 inches away from the Rhino,
Right.
and there is an objective below that as well.
Who's that fella?
This is Trap Jaw, as you can see by his mechanical jaw. He's
Trap
carrying
Jaw.
a combi melter, and he's got psychic powers, so he could do some damage to a Rhino.
Okay. And then over here, Beastman and the Beasts fell back
I didn't do too well against the Space Marines, so I withdrew
onto this
onto
objective
this
here.
objective. And
Now-
Monkey is looking very suspicious.
What are you doing?
well, Because he bravely fell to combat,
Tactically repositioned. Yeah.
tactically repositioned,
Yeah.
there's a strat called cut them down.
Yes.
So for 1 CP, I think it's worth a punt.
Yeah.
I'll roll a dice for each model in my unit. On a 6, you suffer one mortal wound.
Roll a bunch of 6s then. Nothing.
Good call.
And this is Stylus with his clipboard now, figuring out the psychic phase.
Got to have a system. The first wave is going to look like.
Right.
So we'll play it by ear. So we've got lots of Cabal points to spend should we need them, but we're going to begin with Evil Lynn.
Yes.
Having gone through the Forest of Despair, she's now cracking open the Athananian Scrolls, which means a spell of her choosing can be cast on 3 dice, not 2.
Okay.
And the first of the spell she's choosing is Zinch's Firestorm that she's going to put on the Chimera.
Right.
This requires a 6 to go off, but a 9 really goes off.
That's a perils.
That's a perils.
That's a super perils?
It's a super duper perils. So
Yeah.
I think I will spend a command point to avoid that super duper perils.
Okay.
Baby.
Command point, no perils. That's
No
a
point, no
Thousand
perils.
Suns thing.
I should have a name for it because I use it a lot. But
Yeah.
it's been done now.
So no perils at the Thousand Suns strat. The Firestorm hits the Chimera and does mortal wounds on 5s.
It does more than 6s, but because I rolled an 18 for the spell,
Yeah.
it will now be 5s.
Yeah.
Well, that is 3 mortal wounds. She will now put Glamour of Zinch on the spawn and be -1 to hit.
Okay.
That goes off, they are -1 to hit. We go to the Terminators. They will put Presage on themselves, so they will be hitting better in shooting and in combat. You need a 7 for this. That goes off on a 7.
Okay.
And the guys with the Warp Flamers will do Pyrrhic Flux, which will increase the strength of their warp weapons, needing a 5 for this. That goes off as well.
I think.
Right.
That was a 6. It will become a 7 because of my Thousand Suns ability. Do you wish to deny it?
You only got 1d6 to deny.
But there's a spaceful strat that you can play which allows you to, for 1 CP, to do a deny.
On a 4+?
No, it's
Something
just a
like that.
regular deny.
Is it? Are you denying it?
I don't think that. There's about 17 powers left to come, so I'll keep it for a second.
Right. Where are we going next?
Trap Jaw will
Yeah.
do a Smite on the Rhino.
Over there.
Smack up on. That is a 9. Becomes a 10.
Okay. So D3 mortal wounds?
D3 mortal
Because
wounds.
it's not more than 10.
No. That's a bit cocked.
That's pretty cocked. That's
a
2 on the
2.
Rhino.
And I will spend Kabbalistic points.
Right.
Malevolent Charge. Anything that does mortal wounds does another D3 mortal wounds.
Another D3 on the Rhino.
Another
Another
2.
2 on the Rhino. So that was a malevolent spike there, taking 4 wounds off the Rhino. It's down to 4 remaining because it took some earlier.
Yes.
Yes.
Going to Skelator, he will do Swelled by the Warp to make himself even more powerful. Who knows, he might take 2 wounds off next time.
Is it going to make him pretty swole?
It will, because that goes off on a 9.
Okay, so he's swollen.
He's swollen, and he'll do a regular smite in on that, needing 6 this time. That goes off on a 7, becomes an 8.
Stopping it.
For 1 mortal wound.
Rhino's down to 5 left.
Yes.
Then a psychic action with these fellas down here gets you an extra command point. That is the end of the psychic phase. Lots of mortal wounds dished out all over the place. The Terminators are going to be hitting on 1 better. The Flamers are going to be wounding on 1 better. Over here, minuses to hit. Now we're going on to the shooting phase. You're spending a CP, so it counts as top bracket. Your
Yes, it does.
Land Raider.
Basically, the evil machine spirit has become resurgent. So,
Yes.
boom, up it comes again. I think I've really got to put the las cannons into He-Man and these the heavy bolters into the blood claws.
Okay.
So let's do it.
Last cannons will hit on 4s, though it is a heavy weapon. Into He-Man. All 4 of them hit. Strength 9, toughness 5. And we have 2 wounds there. 2 wounds into He-Man. You ready?
It's tough.
It's tense, isn't it?
Yeah, it's especially tense because we had like a gentleman's agreement before starting.
Yeah.
That I won't fire at Skeletor, he won't fire at He-Man. I guess this is where we
I know, you wanted a He-Man and Skeletor to get into close combat and
Oops.
4 up inevitable saves. He makes them
Look at
both.
that,
He's fine. He's
Stop
fine.
your whining. And then heavy.
You're right.
I'm fine. Just,
Yeah. Heavy bolters.
Into the blood claws.
Forced to hit.
Forced to hit.
There's 4 hits. 3 wins. 3's to win.
3's to win.
And then you have 3 3-up saves, Monkey.
Is it 3 ups?
Yeah, because of armor contempt.
It
That'll
is.
kill 1.
Aha.
Heavy bot goes thunk and kills 1. From the Land Raider, Stinkor and all the Flamers of Doom. Stinky Flamers.
Okay, Stinko has to go separately because that is a flame pistol, which is lower strength than the rest.
Okay.
And if I'm not mistaken, that's Mr. Noodlehead there, Raman.
Raman is in front, yeah.
So Stinko will give him the special treatment, and everyone else will flame these guys.
Okay.
So D6 shots from his pistol. That's 3 shots. Because of Pyrrhic Flux, it's now strength 4, so wounding on 4s. 1 wound at -2 becomes -3, or -1 because I'm contempt.
Okay.
-1.
He has a storm shield as well.
It doesn't stack with armor of contempt. And he takes a wound.
Aha.
Just 1 wound.
But now I have 8 D6 flamers coming into the flying dudes.
This is going to smell. For that number of auto hits.
Here come the spews. There are 29 auto hits, so I'm wounding on 3s because Pyrrhic Flux has made them stronger.
Yes. It's a lot of wounds. 19 4-up saves. Only 2.5 get melted by stink. Now we're on to the Dreadnought, the Hellbrute.
Yes, so the heavy flamer will tickle out, and so will the heavy plasma gun shooting through the trees.
Okay.
So this is the flamer number of shots. For 3.
There's a wound on 3s as well.
2 wounds.
2 wounds.
Minus nothing now.
2 3-up saves. He's okay. And then the plasma cannon has 2 shots.
Hitting on 4s. 1 hit.
Yes.
-2.
Wounding on a 3.
Oh, I got a wound.
Yes.
That too. No, I don't.
It doesn't wound. So only 2.5 get melted by the stink. There might be a charge coming
Rhino
on.
can see
The Rhino.
The Rhino. It can't do the melted bit, but it can do the combi part of the bolter and the other combi bolter. So that's 3 shots.
Okay.
Hitting on not that.
Not that.
Great.
Right. Oh. The Wolf Guard hanging in tough there.
Yeah, well, these guys luckily have got guns and they can't shoot them. I
Yes.
was going to pick on them, but I think now the Wolf Guard needs some special attention.
Gonna leave the Imperial Guard?
Well, we'll start off. I've got missiles
Yes.
that go into Lucas because he's got no business being on this. He's the wrong genre entirely.
Okay.
And I've got the chain cannon that will go into that as well. All the bolters will go back into them.
Okay.
Soul Reaper cannon into Lucas.
Okay.
Eat that. Oh,
Before you do that,
Right, what?
rolls of 1 to 3 always fail because of the pelt of the Doppelgangrel.
Doppen Grangrel.
He's like, so there's a little cloak at the back.
Yeah.
He's a Finrisian animal,
Yeah.
and his gaze shifts and.
isn't that
How does it go? Nice.
Strength 6 strength 6 wounding on 3s. They fail because you're pelted doppelganger.
No, they wound okay.
2 at -3.
2 -3. 2 5-ups. He doesn't have an invuln. He takes 2 wounds. And then there's some missiles coming in, right?
Hellfire missiles streak in.
And both of them hit. We'll wound on 2s.
Wound on 2s. Both wound. It's -2 becomes -1.
So 4-up saves. Each doing 3 damage.
That's a 2.
I think Lucas the Trickster has been blown up.
Even if I was to use a CP,
Yeah.
he's only got 2 wounds left.
Oh no. He gets taken out. And as Stylus said, he shouldn't be here with this.
Absolutely.
You know, we've got the He-Man thing going on. What's Lucas?
No genres.
Why is he lying down?
He's dead.
Can he get back up again?
No.
Oh. And then the combi bolt is firing this way. Into the Wolf Guard.
Yes.
2s to hit.
2 hit because of presage. Oh, a couple of ones in there.
No re-rolling ones anywhere?
No, they're not near anyone enough to care.
Okay.
But,
Right.
I'm winning on 4s.
Yes. And these are 4s. And each doing a wound. 3 Wolf Guard left now.
Yeah, so we've got a squad of Rubrics over there. The Soul Reaper cannon is going back into them.
Is it?
Everything else is going to rapid fire up into these Imperial Guard. So that's pistols and 5 rapid fire infernal bolt guns.
Okay.
So these are the bolt guns and stuff.
Trying to kill the guardsman.
Yeah, I can reroll 1s because Skeletor is right next to them shouting to shoot better.
And that was a thing.
That was a thing. Wound them on 3s.
Yep. Oh. That could have been better. They are in cover though. They will get 6-up saves. So that's 5 6-up saves on the humble guardsman on top of Castle Grayskull. And look! 2 of them duck and cover. And then we have the...
Soul Reaper cannon coming down here to try and pick up a
Nice.
few more of them. Everything
Hits 3
there.
times.
5 times.
5 times. Wounds 3
3
times.
times. -3 becomes -2.
So 2 5-up saves on the Wolf Guard.
I just want to use the shield.
I'm going to use it on
Oh,
the
no, you
shield.
started on this guy.
Oh yeah,
He's
you've
got
got
shields
shields
as well.
anyway.
Oh,
The
right.
remaining 3 have got shields, so it's 4-up
So
saves.
do one at a time?
Oh, you can do them all together. 4-up saves. And
Ooh,
they duck and cover, holding their shields firm. No further casualties taken out there.
I will pistol into the Chimera from Skeletor.
Okay.
He hits. He wounds, -2. 1 damage.
It does take a wound off the Chimera. Is there any more shooting?
I think.
I think we're scraping the barrel now.
No, we've got a
these fellas,
combi melter back there.
combi melter.
Combi melter.
In
into
the rhino, in the butt.
I'm kind of hoping I take no more than 3 wounds off him.
Because you want to charge.
Because my charges depend on this. So hitting on 3s. There we go. Perfect. Misses.
And that's the end of the shooting phase.
That
He's dropped
ability
in.
was
Over here, Beastman fell back with the beasts. So we had some casualties in the centre. The Wolf Guard mainly taking most of the casualties in this shooting phase, as well as the Imperial Guardsmen on top of Castle Greyskull. Charges now are a thing. So over here, they can't charge.
No.
You want to charge the Rhino.
Yes.
That's a 9-inch charge.
9-inch charge.
And that's a 6.
Let's CP that one.
You really want to charge the
I
Rhino.
really want to charge the Rhino.
And that's an 11.
We're in.
He goes charging in. So that contests that objective, interestingly enough.
Indeed.
Any more charges?
Yes. The Scarab Occult Terminators are going to charge the Blood Claws.
Okay.
The Blood Claws only.
And the Blood Claws only. He's scared of He-Man. I would be scared of
The
He-Man.
Blood Claws only.
The Blood Claws only.
You see how if I charged him, I'd have missed.
Okay.
They're in.
Right, so the Terminators go charging in there.
Yes.
Now we're coming across the Stinky Boys.
Yes, Stinkor is going to lead his Rubiks against both Ram Man and Stratos.
Okay, so don't roll a 1 as you go through the Forest of Despair. One dice
One
for
dice.
that unit. They don't roll a 1.
Hey.
They don't fall to despair.
Marvellous.
They can charge. It is -2 to the charge, though. And that's a 4-inch charge. Are you 5 inches away? Stylus,
Yes.
interestingly, you're 4 inches from Raman, or just over 4 inches from Raman. But because you multi-charge both squads, you fail the charge.
Oh, no.
And you've done a CP reroll already.
I have.
Oh dear.
Oh dear.
Any more charges?
Yes, I've got some Rubiks over there. I think they're going to charge because then they can get on the objective. So the
I think
Chimera.
you're already on it, but you...
But let's beat it up anyway.
Okay. You
That's-
charge around. At the end of the charge phase, then the Rubikai surround the Chimera, and then 1 CP spent for counter charge. So this unit next to Ram Man has heroically intervened into Stinker and the Flamer squad. Now we're going to the fight phase. What's going on?
Well, you see, there's been shenanigans at work.
Okay.
Faker.
Who's
is,
Faker?
Faker is Skeletor's evil robot duplicate of He-Man.
Is he?
He is. He's there. And of course, we made a Space Wolf Faker duplicate of He-Man and slipped him unseen into a Space Wolf pack.
Did we?
In plain sight, he was there all along, and now the time has come to reveal himself and attack this unit.
He's got a half robot face and
Yeah,
everything.
he's an evil robot duplicate.
With the haircut and... Right,
Indistinct from
okay.
He-Man,
So he's
he's
attacking
already in
them.
engagement range. He's going to attack.
Okay.
2 attacks with his evil sword of power, hitting
Okay.
on 3s.
Hits once.
Space Wolves are rubbish. Doesn't even wound.
Well done, Faker.
Nice. And I can hit back.
My hit back.
Well, we'll do the hitbacks here, and then we'll go on to all the charging stuff. Yes. So you didn't charge. So you're hitting on 3s, but lots of chainswords.
I'm guessing I can consolidate as well.
Yes. Yes.
So, like, free movement then.
Yes.
Oh.
You wouldn't hit a brother Space Wolf, would you?
No, I wouldn't, but he's not a space wolf, so...
He's an evil robot space wolf.
Prepare to die, Faker. Prepare to die. Power swords first.
Okay.
We've got 2 attacks each.
And they hit once.
They hit once. That was a 6 as well. So
I know. Doesn't wound. And then the chainswords. So
Stop
you've
laughing.
got 3 guys with chainswords there.
Yes. 6 attacks.
Yes. And you hit on 3s. And you
Exploding
hit-
6s.
Oh yeah, is it turn
No,
3
no,
yet?
no,
It's
no.
not turn 3
No,
yet.
turn
It's
one.
still turn 2. Wounding on 4s. Faker is fine. This unit is locked up.
My plan has worked.
Pack loyalty is a thing. I like to think that the Space Wolf buddies are confused about what was going on as Faker tried to hit them, and they're sort of poking him back a little bit and slapping him with the blunt edge of the chainsword.
I think Space Wolves are often confused.
So we're coming across here to the Terminators,
Yes.
and for the first time ever in your
Since I
Thousand Suns
broke the seal
career,
on the pack, and I've done it in 8th, but this is the first time. It's my new cards, Vengeance for Prospero.
vengeance for
I haven't
Prospero.
even read what it does. I'm just going to use it.
Okay.
So I will
Can I ask-
every time I take.
Can I ask a question?
Yeah.
Is this a second unit to attack?
Well, this is charging units now. We did that specially. That was a special mechanic thing. There's no.
I'm a 2CP ready to
I know
equip as
you've
well.
got. Yeah, we're now onto the
Fully
charging
agree to it.
units.
So, as I was saying,
Yes.
Vengeance for Prospero. Every time I make a melee attack into the Space Wolves unit, reroll the hit and the wound roll.
I appreciate the enthusiasm, but
Where's it going? Where's it going?
And I'm already hitting on 2s because they're presage, so I'm hitting on 2s, rerolling 1s.
this is going to be nasty.
Yeah. Prospering Kopeshes for 4 of the Scarab Cult.
Okay.
So here we go, hitting on 2s, rerolling, because Vengeance for Prospero. Just like that. We remember. Aha.
How badly it went for you.
That too. Prospering Kopeshes give me strength.
I just suddenly had a thought. You know, like Magnus, he did plenty wrong, and he was like he didn't really take part in the Prospero campaign at all until the very end, and
You're saving it for the finale. That's what you do if you're dramatic.
But he is in the Horus Heresy after that, and he's kicking around all over the place.
Yeah.
The thing that just occurred to me is, you know, Ferrus Manus.
Yes.
You can get a model for him for the Horus Heresy, but he was in the Horus Heresy for like 5 seconds and he died. He shouldn't have really made a model, should he? Because,
Spoiler alert, anyone who hasn't read that bit about the Horus Heresy yet.
but well, you know what I mean. I mean, say you're playing the Horus Heresy and you got Ferrus Manus in it. Well, his first action was Isfan 5 over, so you can't really use Ferrus Manus if you're playing.
Iron Hands fans, tell us how you use your Ferrus Manus
Yes.
when you play Horus Heresy.
Okay, 3s to wound,
Where was I?
re-rolling
3s to
everything.
wound,
Yes,
re-rolling
we're doing
everything. We're doing the thing.
Just a thought popped into my head.
That was an interesting
If
thought.
you're playing Horus Heresy, you could play pre-Heresy, pre-Crusade stuff.
What's he going to fight though?
And these are -3,
These -3, yes, which becomes -2.
so
because
5 up saves. Have you got any Storm Shields in that squad?
Nope.
No. So you need 9 2-up saves to keep them alive. Each of them's going to do
damage.
2 damage. Yeah, this is going to sting. Or
Well
it
done.
won't sting that much. Only 4 of them fall. Merman, Trident, or Putrescent.
Do I take these? It's a 4 stage.
Yeah, you can
So-
take them all away. He'll still get to fight.
Hitting on that.
2s, wounding on 3s, re-rolling.
Yes. Rerolling.
And then you get a full 3-up save against this monkey.
D3.
3, yeah?
Yeah,
Yes.
3. And this will do D3 damage. And that smushes 1 more. So you lost 5
Have it.
in the end. Do you want to pile in?
Do you want to
Just take-
interrupt first?
Well, it's your turn.
Oh, right,
At
I
the
will
end of the
pile
fight phase, do you want to pile in to engage the wolves? Because you don't have to, because the way he's pulled away.
That's true.
Yeah. So you have decided to pile in against the Space Wolves.
I have, yeah. I thought, get in their faces, get them locked up. Also, there's a Land Raider there that's completely unmolested and will gun me down if I get into combat with things. So I'll take it.
Brilliant. Next charging unit, Rubikai into Chimera.
Yes, so this is the Rubikai. The Spiker will come next.
Okay.
I can re-roll that one because of Skeletor next to him.
Right.
Not me at all.
5s to wound. 4 wounds left on that Chimera. And that is 2 wounds.
Minus nothing.
2 3-up saves. It's down to 3 wounds remaining. Is there a stave or anything in
There
here?
is Spiker has a 4 stave
Okay.
with his spiky 4 stave.
Okay.
Hits with everything. It's strength 7 now because 4 staves are super tough.
2 wounds,
and
2
minus
4-up saves.
1, D3 damage.
1 gets through. It'll be D3 damage.
Is this the one? Is
And
not
that's
the one.
1 damage. The Chimera is down to 2 wounds remaining. That's it for all the charging
Except
units.
for the one over there.
Oh no, okay.
Could be important.
We've got the Trapjaw fighting the Rhino. I'm forgetting these names. Trapjaw is a Terminator sorcerer. He's got 4 attacks.
He's hitting on 3s.
Okay. He hits twice.
Hits twice. He's rocking a force axe.
Okay.
We can
5 to wound.
one wound. Not going to
Uh,
crack the one. -2 becomes -1.
You're fine.
You're fine.
Don't
At least
crack
I
the
am
one.
contesting that objective.
Yes. So now that's all the charging
There you
units. Now defenders get to fight back. No need to fight back over here. Yeah, I guess we're coming to the wolf pack over here
Yes.
that heroically intervened. Stratos is fighting first with his lightning claws. He hits on 2s. And he hits all the times. Is this frost claws or normal claws? There's normal
these
claws.
are lightning claws.
Okay, so force to wound, re-rolling everything. Re-rolling everything. Now, the interesting thing about this is, because it's damage 1, Stylus gets all his dust. And he also gets armor of contempt. So they're 3-up saves.
5 3-up saves. Everything's good.
Power sword. Hits all the times. Wounds on 3s. Wounds all the times. 4-up save with all his dust. And the power sword takes out one of the Rubikai, and then you have the fist. Which misses. The Wolfguard only managed to take out one then. Now we're coming on to Skeletor.
Skeletor, can you finish off the Chimera? He
Can
needs to do twice as many wounds as he did last time. Misses 1.
Hits 5 times.
He had 6 attacks for doing a paradigm of change.
Yes.
Wounding on 4, that's more like it. And -1 to the armour.
So 4-up saves on the Chimera. Can Skeletor crack it open? He can. That's enough to crack open the Chimera, which doesn't explode. And can the crew disembark? They can disembark without any further injury. The Chimera cracks open, the occupants get out. Skeletor's choosing not to consolidate into the Bullgrins. It just gives them, or Ogrins, it just gives them 3 hits. Now we're on to He-Man. Fighting the Land Raider. He gets D3 extra attacks because of his saga. For 1.
2 wounds left, don't
So
mess it up.
5 attacks coming in.
Don't massively mess it up.
Hitting on 3s because the minuses for the hand armor.
Okay. He hits 3 times. And he's going to wound.
The 3s, you said.
He's going to wound on
Just pick up
4s.
Look at that! Look at that!
2 wounds.
2 wounds.
-2.
-2.
Comes -1.
So saving on 4s.
7 on 3s. It's
Saving
a
on
Land Raider.
3s, even better. 2 3s.
Yes.
And you look rather foolish.
That's 2 failed saves.
That's 2 failed saves.
So who looks foolish now?
Does it go kaboom?
Does it go kaboom, man?
There they go.
Of course it does.
He-Man rips open the Land Raider, which explodes in a ball of flame and hurts He-Man
D6 wounds, I think.
4 times and hurts the squad
Oh.
once,
It's the rubrics
twice.
twice.
He-Man comes charging through the ball of flame. He's down to 3 wounds remaining. The squad around the Land Raider are injured. Heroic stuff there. Now we're coming on to the Rubikai with Stinker. You pile in and hit back 14 times.
Again, Stinker.
On 3s.
On 3s.
And then wounding on 4s.
Wounding on 4s.
Now, everyone in that squad has got Storm Shields remaining.
Okay, and all I've got is my bare dusty fists.
So these are 2-up saves. Oh. And the injured fella falls.
Unless we CP.
Yes.
Let's CP then, is it?
Okay. He falls.
And then Stinker himself, using his force stave.
Okay, hits
Misses
once.
twice.
And doesn't wound. The Rubikai wrap the 2 remaining Wolf Guard. Now across to the Blood Claws, attacking the Terminators right below the entrance to Castle Grayskull. Spinning the CP to reroll all hits and wounds. And you start with the leader?
Yes, with the power fist.
Okay. And because you're charged, does your Space Wolf thing kicks in +1 to
Yes,
hit?
charge, charged, or heroic.
Okay, so you can re-roll that failed hit then with the CP that you spend. He hits twice. He'll wound on 2s, re-rolling, and he fails. He doesn't fail. It's 2 up -3, comes to -2. 4 up and buns. 4 up armors. The injured one gets smushed into oblivion, and then we have the chainsword attacks.
I might CP that because I haven't done yet.
Okay.
What did I 4 up?
The injured one gets
No.
smushed into oblivion. Zinch doesn't like it when you do these
Doesn't,
easy
does it?
rerolls. You've got to stick to the script.
So 4 attacks each.
Yep.
Hitting on 2s because they were charged.
Yes.
Wounded on 4s, rerolling.
Yep.
Here's the rerolls.
Blood Claws. 10 wounds. 2 up saves because of Armour of Contempt.
Only lose 2.
And that's the end of the fight phase. We have a morale over here. Leadership 7. Don't 3 plus the 4. They're fine. They managed to hold.
No.
And then we have the Wolf Guard over here.
Yes.
And they lost a lot. But I think they're leadership 9 or 8. They're veterans.
They're pretty good. They're pretty good. We'll find out.
We'll find out. That's not good enough. One of them flees, and the last one will flee on a 1 or 2.
Just a 1.
Just a 1, sorry. No. So, just the battle leader left. So, Stratos is left standing. And that is the end of turn 2. Now, you were on 6 points.
Yes.
But Stylus is on 1, 2, 3, and that one's contested.
Tested, yeah.
Yeah, but you're not on that one.
Nope.
You don't control this one. So it's 6 points each.
6 points each.
It's 6 points each. Over here, we've got Faker tying up a unit of Space Wolves that can't fall back and charge. This is a problem, Monkey. Over here, the Blood Claws are still locked in close combat with the Terminators, though He-Man might have something to say about it. Mind you, He-Man might have a juicier target, which is Skeletor. All the way over there, after taking some shrapnel to the face and going down to 3 wounds remaining. Ram Man is angry. He came dropping in, failed his charge. We'll see what he can do as well. I think everybody is on the table now, except for some Space Wolves that are in that Rhino over there on the objective over there.
And 1 Sorcerer in reserve.
And 1 Sorcerer in reserve. And there are some 1 Sorcerer in reserve, 1,000 Suns. But even though the Rhino is hiding down through the Forest of Despair, it looks like some Spawn and Evil Lyn are making their way down to them. So at the end of turn 2, this battle grid is aflame all the way from the Forest of Despair past the Castle Greyskull and down into the swamps of almost probable certain death as we go on to Space Wolves. Turn 3, which means your Assault Doctrine.
Assault Doctrine, yay!
6 explode.
6 explode.
In the Space Wolves movement phase, this unit stays locked up with the other Space Wolves, with Faker. Over here, He-Man can advance and charge. He's advanced over there, and he ordered, you say?
Ordered.
The Blood Claws to break out of combat.
Yes.
So they've stepped out of combat.
They've stayed there. It's not very often Blood Claws listen, but he's He-Man, so they're going to listen to what he says.
Right,
Okay.
left, turn tails, and run.
The famously disciplined Blood Claws fall back to make sure that they take this objective here. Who's this fella?
Stratos.
So he's leapt out of combat.
Yes.
He was in the Forest of Despair.
He
Don't
was.
roll a 1. He doesn't roll a 1. He's fine. He doesn't fall to despair after losing the rest of his squad. And there's
Raman.
Raman. Raman's there. He-Man's there. This is all the lot that got out of the Rhino. It looks like they're about to get some choppy. And you've moved your Rhino around in the backfield as well.
Yes.
And the last unit have disembarked. Right in front of Orca, the Psyker.
Yes.
And that fella.
Manny Faces.
Manny Faces, that's it. Okay, so you're mainly on this side of the battle grid, leaving the 1,000 Suns over this side of the battle grid unopposed for now. We're going to go on to the psychic phase. You do have a psychic phase.
I do.
Are you doing a cheeky smite or something? Or?
Let's do a smite with the with Orko, the powerful wizard.
Yes.
So
On a 4. He doesn't. The powerful wizard fails to manifest his spell. So now we're going to go into the shooting phase. What
More
now?
like Dorko.
more like Dorko. That's harsh. It's 24 points. Those models are. Thank you. Anyway,
We've got another Psyker.
we've got another Psyker. So Inquisitor Teela.
Oh yes, she's down here.
She's down there. So she's got a few psychic powers and things,
Okay.
and I believe she's going to cast a Dominate.
Dominate. Okay.
So if it manifests, then I can take over 1 model of my choice.
Right. Okay.
So we'll give it a go there, I think. Are we ready?
I'm ready. I'm ready for it.
I have no idea what it goes off on, so let's find out.
Okay. Is it a 4?
I don't think it's a 4.
CP reroll. It's a 6.
I think so, yes.
Does go off.
Let's try and deny that then.
Okay. No. Someone's dominated.
That was dominated.
Right in front of Teela.
Okay.
Does she dominate Skeletor? Or?
No. She dominates this Terminator there
Right.
with a chain gun and the missile pods,
But okay.
which is quite convenient that she happens to be within 12 inches.
Okay.
So we're going to shoot into Spurty Boys.
Spurty boys.
Yes. So
5 shots for the Soul Reaper cannon.
Thanks, Stylus. Hitting on. Are they still presaged? Does that work?
That's a very good point. I think it's worn off.
are you sure it's
2 to hit then. Until the next psyche phase.
Are we ready?
Yeah. That hits
Oh.
only twice. A wound on 3s. That only wounds once, and it's 4-up save because of armor, contempt, and all the rest of it. And one takes a wound, and then the 2 missiles streak out and hit. Target acquired. Wounding on
8 and
2s.
2s.
They both wound.
With wound. So saving on 4s.
And 2 die.
D3 each.
D3 each.
D3
Well, the
each.
first one will destroy
First
one,
one's dead.
and the second
No,
one.
the first one, I've taken a wound already, so 1's gone.
Okay, yeah. So another D3. Oh.
1, so 2 go.
Well, no, actually, the first wound, one was injured, so the
So-
one wound will kill one.
No, so
and,
the cannon took a wound off.
two gone. Yes, it's very confusing.
What could be confusing about Inquisitor Greyfax dressed as Tila hypnotizing a space marine to shoot in at Stinkor and kill 2 rubrics?
I don't even know what words you're saying. It sounds like a sentence. That's the end of the psychic phase.
Yeah, it wasn't great, was it?
Well, you killed 2. You killed 2 Rubikai.
Probably should have just smite and just...
Woo! You can shoot some guns now. He-Man's going to play catch and throw a grenade at Skeletor.
You're going to throw a grenade at him?
Yes. Well, I wouldn't have, but you shot 4 lance cannons at He-Man.
That's
so...
just a joke.
Lols. Hitting on 2s.
Yes. It hits. 3's to wound. It wounds. 3 up save. You make the save. Onto Manny faces with his assault cannon. 4's to hit because he moved. And 3's to wound. Should mention the assault doctrine's in effect, obviously.
2 wounds.
That is 2 wounds.
4 up saves, 2 up saves. 1 takes a wound.
Okay. Then some bolt weapons came in, incidental fire, killing off that last Rubikai. Now, Greyfax, aka Tila, has got a Condemner Staker bolt pistol gun.
Yeah, it's
A
like
crossbow.
a crossbow. It's like a crossbow, but it's good against
With a
psychics.
holy vampire stake on top.
Gonna
Yes.
shoot Skeletor in the face.
She is. Hits on 3s.
And she misses.
Yeah.
CP reroll. And she hits. And I need to wound.
Wound on it.
-1.
You need to wound
Wound.
first. That was the CP.
Yeah.
Yes.
Wound first, no?
Yes. And it wounds.
And it wounds.
3 up save.
3 up save.
Yep. You
There
make
you
the
go.
save. Now, each time an attack is allocated to a model, that takes you get an extra D3 damage if it's a Psyker.
D3.
Skeletor's a Psyker.
D3 mortal wounds. in
D3
addition
mortal wounds.
to the damage.
Yeah. I can't see what it says.
Only one.
Just one.
Just 1.
Still,
Okay.
It's a thing. It's a start.
So the Ogren's now firing at the Rubikai.
Yep.
They hit on 4s with their Ripper guns. Winning on 3s, and that's 3 up saves, or 2 up saves. All his dust is a thing.
Dust. All is dust.
You're okay. This squad, unloading everything.
Yes.
There's a plasma gun in there. Are you overcooking it?
Yeah, why not?
Okay.
Rapid fire. 2 shots.
Yeah. And they both hit.
Both hit.
We'll win on 2s. And this will bypass all his dust as well. So it's 2 5-up and vulnerable saves, or 2 Rubikai by the farm.
2 Rubikai by the farm.
Only 4 Rubikai remain, and here is the wrath of all these bolt guns come flying in on 3s and 4s. Only 3 wounds. 4 wounds, 4 2-up saves. All his dust is a thing.
I'm with contempt, and I make the lot.
Then down here, the Rhino fired into the Terminator Sorcerer, did no damage. We have pistols into Faker.
Right.
3s to hit him.
So we got 5 because there's 5 guys there.
Nice. And then 4s to wound him. And the assault phase is in effect. So it's -1. But he does get a +1. Takes a wound.
There you go.
Makes his armor save. Faker doesn't get hit. Is there any more shooting to be done?
Rhino.
There's a Rhino over there.
Stormbolt into the rubrics.
Okay. He hits all the times. And wounds once. And you make that save. Now we're on to the Humble Guardsman aboard Castle Grayskull. And one of them's got a grenade launcher.
Grenade launcher first time into the rubrics.
Okay. Ka-chunk. Hits. 3s to wound. Wound. No all is dust here.
Okay.
But you make the save anyway. The las guns also failed to injure the Rubikai. I think the last thing left to fire, Mark II Pattern Land Raider, firing everything at the Rubikai.
I will use the stratagem Unwavering Phalanx.
Unwavering Phalanx.
Unwavering Phalanx. If a 1,000 Suns unit is targeted in the shooting phase, and
Yes.
the shooting phase only, I can reduce incoming damage by 1. So it won't really help by the las cannons, but it will kick in all his dust because your heavy bolters will now be damage 1.
Okay.
Cheeky.
Okay, doing the Stormbolter first because one of the Scarab Cocktail is on 1 wound remaining. So that is 3 hits. You need 4s to wound and 1 wound. 1 2-up save will kill a Terminator. Doesn't kill a Terminator. Then we've got the heavy bolters coming in, which are now 1 damage. And 3 of them hit. 3s to wound. And because they are 1 damage, 2-up saves.
There we go. 1 got through. You did well there.
1's gone, 4 last cannons remaining. 3 of them hit. 2s to wound. 2 of them wound. Interesting, it's 4 up save because of armor or contempt. You make 1 fail one, and this is d6 damage, reducing it by 1. So you need a 4 to kill.
But to a minimum of 1, I think.
The Land Raider only manages to kill 1 of the Rubikai, Scarabacolt Terminators. So in the shooting phase, a couple of Rubikai dying and a Terminator. We've got some charges coming up. Where would you like to start, Monkey?
I'd like to start with the Land Raider. Charging the...
Okay.
It's a Space Wolf.
Yeah.
It's still a Space Wolf.
Okay. Space Wolf Land Raider rolls a 4.
CP?
That's not going to happen.
We won't CP that. Well, actually, wait a minute.
Wait a minute.
Yeah, we'll CP that.
Okay.
Just to be cheeky.
That's a 9. Nice. Ramming the Terminators, locking them up. That's proper tactics, that is.
Like that, because my plan is,
Yes.
if it comes to my turn and they're still there, I
Yeah.
can still shoot them, can't I?
You last cannon them.
Yeah.
And it's still uninjured, your Land Raider. Interesting. Okay, more charges?
Yes, we'll charge with He-Man, obviously.
Right. I think he's in.
I think he's going to go into Skeletor. obviously. He's in.
He's definitely in. That's a 6-inch charge. Who's this fella again? He's one of the named ones.
He ran away then.
Stratos. Oh, yeah.
He ran far
Yeah,
away.
He tactically repositioned.
He did.
He's got to change his armor trousers.
So Raman didn't want to charge these Scarabacolt Terminators now that they're locked up. Tried to charge the Rubikai, but failed. Down in the middle, though, Tila joins He-Man against Skeletor. The Ogrins are in, the Priest is in, the Commissar is in against all the Rubikai down here. One big ruckus kicking off, and the Space Wolves want to join in as well, and they're going to need a 5, and they roll an 11. And that's the end of the charge phase. Lots of action opening up in the middle of the battle grid. Stylus has only got 1 CP, so he can't pay to interrupt. So we're going to end with He-Man versus Skeletor. What we're going to do, in a remarkable turn of events, is start over here with this weird combat that we have. Faker versus the Space Wolves, right? So
Okay.
Faker gets to go first, because you're the defender.
2 attacks.
So this is sort of like an outer sequence thing. And he hits 1.
Hits what? Does that explode?
Yes, it does. It's now the Assault Doctrine.
But does it because he's now been declared? Because he's been declared as a traitor, he's no longer a Space Wolf?
Well, but what is it in the... I don't know He-Man lore. I mean, I barely know.
I mean, look at the armor. It's quite clearly space.
I'll give you that one. I'll give you that too.
Okay.
2 attacks. Wounding, wounding on 3s. 1 wound. -3 goes out to -2.
Well, -3 becomes 4 because the Assault Doctrine back to -3. It's a
Yeah.
6-up save. And he cuts 1 down. And you can fight out of combat as well here. Well, fight out of sequence now. This is standing. This is a separate thing. Right, swords. You've got a couple of swords.
Power swords.
Yes, 3s. 6s explode.
Explodes.
So that's 6
Thank
hits.
you
with
very
this.
much.
You might be able to cut Faker down finally.
3s.
3s. Faker's got to make 3 6s.
No.
And Faker
That took you long.
thread
Get him out.
is gone. Right, so that's done. Now we're going to come back to the charging models, and we're starting with this pile of Space Wolves into the 4 remaining Rubikai. Spending CP on Death to the Traitors, re-rolling all hits, and starting with Fisto. So he hits some 3s with his Power Fist. And he doesn't need to re-roll the hits. And he's going to wound on 2s. And that's AP -4 right now because of the Assault Doctrine. So 5 up and buns.
3 on 8.
Yes. And 2 of the Rubikai fall, leaving 2 remaining. Power Sword. 2s to hit.
2s to hit.
Re-rolling. Okay,
That's a
so
5.
3 hits and 3s to wound. And these are invulnerable saves as well because Assault Doctrine. That kills another. There's one
wound. Spikors left.
So all the remaining attacks into Spikor on 3s. Re-rolling all failed hits.
And 6s explode.
Here's the re-rolls. More 6s. And these are wound on 4s. Lots of hits came through because of Space Wolves. With modifiers, these are 3-up saves on Spikor, and he gets
spiked.
He gets ripped in half. They did some consolidation, then the other units that charged piled in, consolidated closer to Skeletor. They can't strike Skeletor, but He-Man certainly can. 4 attacks, plus Imperium Sword, plus D3 because of his saga, for an extra 1. So 6 attacks, and you said conniving plate. Something.
Skeletor's relic is the conniving plate.
Yes.
It's a 2-up save, and you can only allocate half your attacks against him.
There's 3 attacks then.
It's pretty rubbish, isn't it?
Okay. Are you doing the Wolfkin thing so he rerolls all hits and wounds? Not Wolfkin thing, Emperor's Executioners, reroll hits and wounds. So, hitting on 2s.
And the Wolfenstone,
Yes.
once per battle, I can unlock it so it explodes on 5s and 6s instead of just 6s.
Okay. And you can reroll all hits and wounds. So, in the end, that's 5 hits. Winning on 2s, rerolling all failed wounds. Can Skeletor withstand this?
Oof. You didn't have those rerolls.
So 5 wounds at AP -3. 3 damage a time. He's got 5 wounds remaining.
Yes.
He needs to make... Has he got invulnerable save?
He's got a fire 4-up invuln save or
Okay.
2-up armor save.
You need to make 4 of these?
And these are 4-ups. It's -3, take away 1 for plate, so it becomes a 4-up either way.
Yeah.
Okay, I need to
Okay.
make 4
Can
of these.
Skeletor withstand the attacks of He-Man? No, he can't.
No, we can't. Not even a little bit.
What would Skeletor say?
I'll get you next time.
And I would say, listen kids, don't do drugs.
And so an epic fight beneath the shadow of Castle Grayskull removes the Rubikai, and Skeletor, then the Land Raider revved its engines, ran over a Rubikai's foot, did a wound.
Yeah.
Now we're coming over here to your Terminator guy.
Terminator guy, he's got 4 attacks.
Yes.
Hitting on 3s. 2 hits.
Okay.
Wounding on 5s. 2
Wounds.
wounds. -2 becomes -1.
Oh, that's 2 more
It's a
wounds.
force act. It does D3.
Oh.
Ah!
The Rhino's down to 2 wounds remaining. The Rhino can rev its engines. And the Rhino did no damage back. Now we're moving on to the Terminators.
Presage is still in effect because it's
Okay.
not my psychic phase yet. So these are the Kopeshers.
Okay. 5 to wound.
5 to wound.
Ooh, 4 wound.
-3 becomes -2, and it's
So
2 damage.
4 up saves. Each doing 2 damage. The Land Raider's on 14 wounds remaining, and then you smack it with a 4 stave.
Oh,
Hitting on 2s, yeah.
yeah,
And win on 5s.
nothing.
Okay, so the Land Raider's on 14 wounds left. I think that's the end of turn 3 for the Space Wolves. So this objective over here is contested, but you are on this one. You outnumber there, and you're on that one, and you're on that one. So it's 9 points to 6. So it's been 3, and then 3, and then 3, and then 3. Everyone's been getting 3 a turn every turn. There is a significant Space Wolves presence in the middle of the board. They're looking a bit weaker over this flank. Do you still have a Deep Striker to come in, Stylus?
1 deep striker. He's
One
going to
deep
save the day.
And there's still a lot of presence over here. The Hellbrute is untouched. The guys with the Flamers are good. The Spawn look like they're ready to come charging round and do some damage to some of the Space Wolves here. Now Skeletor is gone. Will the evil warriors be able to keep up? Now Skeletor is gone. Will the evil warriors be able to step up and take the keep? Let's find out what the Thousand Suns do in their turn 3. In the Thousand Suns movement phase, Triclops comes onto the battle grid. He's just a normal sorcerer.
He's an all sorcerer with a force sword. He's a bit late to the party. He's a battle psychic, so he's got a bit of fighting, but I didn't fancy them lot to hold those off, so he's reinforcing my objective.
And he was in strategic reserves.
Yes.
So he just wandered on, and he actually takes that objective if these guys go charging off.
Indeed.
In the middle, you're stayed in close combat with the Scarabocot Terminators.
Actually, the caster, Merman, is closest to them, so I can put smites into them.
Yeah.
Added to, say, a firepower from the Dread, or maybe some flows it down, I can take them off the objective.
Ooh.
And I am closer to that objective, so I can take it if they're gone.
If they're gone.
They're objectives, aren't they? So I'm an obsec too, so get rid of them, and there's another one there.
Okay. What
The
else?
Spawn have continued to run, avoiding the Forest of Despair, but
Okay.
if I jump over the barricade, I can get stuck in there.
Okay. The Forest of Despair doesn't kill you guys, like the Swamp of Almost Probable Death.
Do you know why it doesn't kill us? Because we're not going in it.
But this is the probable certain death.
Yeah.
So that's why but yeah, this just makes you despair.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Evil Lynn has assumed control of the Evil Warriors now, and she can see right through to He-Man, and this is where we'll start the psychic phase.
Okay.
If you remember, she had the Athenian Scrolls, which means roll 3 dice for her Zinch's Firestorm power.
She's going to set He-Man on fire.
If we can, yes.
Okay.
And, let's see if we can get 3 6s again. Oh, close. So that is to take the best two. So that's an 11 and makes it a 12 with the 1,000 cents power.
So it can't
Do you
be
wish
denied.
To stop at 12.
It can't be denied. You can't beat more than
You
12.
sure you want to try and stop it?
No.
You could try, really, really try it out.
So,
So this
9
is
dice.
fun because it's 9 dice, and on 5s or 6s it does mortal wounds.
Yes.
But I'm sure you brought some kind of mortal wound talisman that you can shrug that off. Anything like that?
Well,
As Monkey frantically searches through his stratagems so that can do that, I will now roll at least 3 5s and 6s. Shazam! Ooh,
and that's 3,
that's 3 on the nose.
which will kill He-Man.
Take that, He-Man!
Unless Monkey can find something in his special deck of
Have you
doom.
got it?
Armor of Contempt.
No, that's for vehicles.
But
So He-Man is taken out.
He's gone.
But is he? 50-50 chance that Battle Cat takes all the damage and He-Man jumps off.
So we need a 4-up for him to get back up again?
I don't know. Roll a dice.
roll the dice, and we'll see.
So on a 4-up, he gets back up again. And Battle Cat gets injured in the inflammation and He-Man comes jumping out and there he is.
On D3 wounds.
On D3, yeah, we'll do the D3 wounds. And that's really cocked. And he's
Ow!
with 3
We're
wounds
exactly where we started.
remaining. But that'll happen at the end of the phase. So for now, he's lying down. Battle Cat is on top of him. That's what normally happens on the get back up stuff. And he's got to cut through the belly of Battle Cat, like in the Tauntaun in Empire Strikes Back, and burst his way out of the guts, showered in entrails and that sort of stuff. And, ooh, tasty.
Yeah.
Okay, next up, Glamorous Inch on the spawn.
She
Minus
thought
1
she'd
to
won the
hit.
game, but no, he's got back up again.
Yeah.
That's a 5, which becomes a 6 because 1,000 cents. The spawn are glamour. They're minus 1 to hit.
I will try and dispel with Inquisitor Tila, please.
Okay.
She gets +1.
Ooh,
Ooh,
she does dispel it.
cheeky.
Tila proving her worth there. Where are we going to next, Stylus?
Okay, we are going with Triclops using
Right.
his special eye. Of course, I gave him Gaze of Hate.
Okay.
So he's going to put his Gaze of Hate onto them.
Okay.
Hitting a 5. That goes off.
Right.
I roll 3 dice, and on 4 more, does a mortal wound.
That's a
One
mortal
mortal wound.
Was one of them injured?
Nope.
Okay.
I will spend some Kamal points to say that if I've done a mortal wound, I will do another D3 mortal wound.
Okay.
I'll work out the Kamal points in a minute. Another 2.
So 1 does fall.
Keeping up the pressure, put a Doom Bolt on them as well, needing
Okay.
a 6.
Okay.
That goes off. That's a flat 3 mortal wounds.
Ooh.
Get him out.
There's only 1 remaining there now. Get him out.
Get him out.
For the lads, or what are you talking about?
Leave the battle.
Oh, right.
Off the table.
Right. What next?
Onto them a smite. First smite of the day, and it's a super one. Anything you can do about that?
Can you do anything about
Nothing
that?
much.
Maybe you want to stop that way? Nothing you can do? Nothing at all? Okay.
And it's 2 damage. That always happens when people get super smites.
know,
They
it's
always then
disappointing.
roll a 1 or 2 or something. I've never seen a 6.
We'll put a smite into him, so needing a 6 now. That.
Doesn't go off.
But I have Cabal points, so that's a 4, which becomes a 5. And if I scrounge enough Cabal points, I can add 1 to it.
Okay.
5 more, I do. So that has gone off
Who's
Right.
this one out?
on him, smitten him.
Tila.
She's got a second deny.
Does
She can deny 2.
She can deny 2. Cast 1,
Wow.
deny 2. Pretty good there.
Decent job.
She's anti-psyker.
And she denies it.
There. Ooh.
Well done, Tila.
It's not nice. And I'm just left with this guy now. Who will...
Have you met this guy?
This guy.
In Necromunda,
I've met
season
this
2.
guy. He's isn't he a friend of Jamin?
You jamming.
Jerome.
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 Not jamming.
Not
It's
Jamin.
Jerome.
Jerome.
Yeah, this guy. Necromunda, season 2. Currently running in the deployment zone.
Smite.
Smite.
Needs a 7 this time. Super smite
It's
once
a
more.
super smite.
Can I kill it now? Yes,
You
I
can
can.
kill the rhino
Does it
and
blow up?
Wait.
armor of
There's
contempt.
a thing. Armor of Contempt is a thing. What is it? 1 CP?
It's 1 CP. It's your last
What are you doing in
CP.
my psychic phase?
Last CP on 5s and 6s. You can shrug it.
Are we ready?
Yeah. And it shrugs it. I don't know. I mean, he's going to probably crack it open in close combat. But the rhino's fine. It's down to 1 wound left. It's smoking, wreathed in electric fire. Is that the end of the psychic phase?
Feels like the end of the psychic phase.
No more mind bullets. Let's go on to the shooting phase. What?
But
But
so that was just 1 mortal wound. I saved up for 1 CP.
yeah.
But the real victory, I think I beat Stylus in that psychic phase again. So that's twice, 2 out of 3 turns I've beaten him in psychic phase.
Well,
The same.
beating. Yeah.
The These are the tales you tell yourself, that's fine.
So Hellbrute?
Heavy Flamer into Stratos and heavy Hellbrute Plasma Gun into these guys.
Okay.
So we begin with Heavy Flamer, this many shots, 3 shots.
Okay.
Wounding on 3s. 2 wounds.
Barricade there, so you get 2 up saves. He's okay. Good thing he ducked behind that barricade.
And Hellbrute Plasma Cannon for just 1 shot. That's hits once.
Yes, and wounds on a 3. It doesn't wound.
He has not distinguished himself.
The Hellbrute is not. Yeah, he's. He didn't fuel himself up. That. You seem to have paused. What do your elf eyes see, Legolas?
My elf eyes see 1 unit of viable guns left.
Right.
And quite a lot of things I need to kill.
These were supposed to be dead on
They
this
were supposed to be
objective, so
dead.
you could take it.
And they're not yet.
They're not dead.
They're not dead.
No.
That's a problem. That's problem number 1.
Right. Where's problem number 2?
He-Man's got back up again.
Okay.
Is he screened by the Ogre? That's a different codex.
Well,
Yes,
is he within 3 of them?
He would be within 3 of them, yeah.
And
He's not the closest target.
no,
So he's going to live.
I think he's screened.
Okay, well that eases things up then. I will put whatever I can into them, and anything that can't reach them will hose these guys.
Okay.
So
So
let's,
measuring.
Measuring time. So
Just what have you got? Well, we're waiting for him.
Spicy chili peanuts.
it's
So, not sponsored, but
Can I have some of your spicy nuts?
you can.
Yeah.
If KP would like to sponsor us, then windows40k@gmail.com.
Yep.
I will take some now, but I feel I would further let's eat the dice.
Spicy
Well,
nuts.
I'm not going to confuse myself. My dice grabbing. Okay, so I'll go through some and not others. So we'll start off with a Warp Flame Pistol. It's going into these guys. I didn't do Pyrrhic Flux this time.
No.
So that's 5 shots. Changing hands.
Be careful about your nuts.
Yeah, don't throw these. This is very important. Okay, automatically hitting, so wounding on, it's a new strength 3 for a pistol, wounding on 5s.
Oh.
That is 3 minus 2, becomes minus 1.
And AP dash because of the barricade 3 inches. So they're fine.
Okay, I've got 3 regular flamers coming in.
Right.
That is 7,
10.
Automatically hitting, wounding on 4s because he's stronger.
What?
Nothing. I was just trying to distract from the dice rolls.
Yeah, me too. So did you just roll a wound?
These are the rolls to wound. There are 4 coming in at minor AP dash, apparently.
Yep, saves. Well, not apparently, Stylus. It's the rules. There's armour of contempt, and they're within 3 inches of a barricade, so they get +1 to their cover save.
Ha!
So one of them dies. You still haven't taken that objective, Stylus.
I still haven't. I've got these 2, and they are going to light up Ramman.
Raman. So you're shooting at Raman.
Yeah, I've got 2 more. I'm going to shoot at Ramman.
Yeah, but you could shoot at the other things
I
and
can
then
shoot
up
at so
again,
many things.
and then they're up there.
I need to
Are you-
shoot. I'm going to shoot. I can detect them. I can shoot Ramman.
Are you sure?
I can charge him. I know what I'm doing. Okay.
it's
Let's go.
taken us a
Let's
while.
Go. Let's go. No, it's not that.
Focus, Stylus. Focus.
Okay.
Number of auto hits on Raman.
Both of them. Ramman.
Now,
There we go. Look at that.
eating peanuts halfway through, it's hardly professional. You know, this is professional battle reports here.
I'm a real professional.
There's a lot right in this.
Yeah.
We're on 4.
3 up saves.
Is it for Ramman? He's got a storm shield.
He's still 3 up saves. He takes a wound.
Wound.
And that's the end of the Thousand Suns shooting phase. Not very successful. They failed to kill He-Man. And I don't think he killed much else. He killed a couple of Space Wolves here, a couple of Space Wolves over on this flank. So now we're going to charge.
Now we're going to charge.
Where are we
We'll
charging?
do these one first. The Zangors will go into this lone guy here.
Okay.
Come on,
That
Beastman,
lone
later.
guy on 1 wound might be in trouble.
That was 7, so they're okay.
From this side of the battle grid, over here to the spawn, charging just the Ogrins.
All I've got to do is make the barricade to get the Ogrins, whereas these guys have got to get over the barricade and make a much longer charge. So
Right.
the dice haven't been my friends today.
Okay,
So
do it then.
there we go. 4 is just enough.
You needed a 4.
I needed a 4.
Spawn, engage. Over here, Rubikai are charging both.
Both of those 2, Ramman and Stratos. Oh, lovely stuff.
The Rubikai make it there, and now the Hellbrute wants to join in.
Come on, mate. Be a hero. Not be a
No.
hero.
And that would have taken him into the Woods of Despair. Don't roll a 1. He's okay.
He's okay.
Is that the end of the charges?
They can't charge him in combat. He's in combat. He is too far away. I think that's all the charges I've got. Yes.
Because I do remember that Space Wolves can heroically intervene 6 inches or something. So He-Man heroically intervenes. He's got the armour of rust, so he's pointing at those Rubikai. And it means they can't fight until all other eligible units from the Space Wolves have fought.
Isn't that nice?
They could be in trouble.
Yeah, they could be in trouble.
But meanwhile, over here, you've started the fight phase with the spawn. They pile in. You're not slowed by terrain when you go piling in. And they're going to hit the Ogrins.
That's what he said. Well, what are you doing?
Fated mutation.
It's like an evil genius.
Yes. I just watch in awe sometimes.
He's our evil genius, though.
He is. It's interesting, again, how many rules he sort of made up or glossed over. That's part of being a genius.
Yeah.
You make your own fate.
I just wonder where the bodies are hidden.
I'll never tell.
So the fellow at the back can't fight, but
Clawful.
can fight, and you're spending a CP on,
Fated mutation.
which is...
Instead of randomizing what where effect I get, I pick it. So I'm picking the one that instead of 2d3 attacks, I get 3d3 attacks.
3d3 attacks.
And I had an extra one for every spawn as well. So it's 3d3 times 4 plus an extra 4 attacks.
Okay, so this number of D3 attacks.
This number of d3 attacks plus 4. Plus 4.
That's a 78,000 attacks.
So hitting on force.
With 29 attacks.
Wounding on force, strength 5, toughness 5.
And it's AP minus 2.
AP minus 2.
So no save.
No save.
Each doing 2 damage.
Each does 2 damage.
The Ogrins, the Abhumans, get wiped out. Then you pile into Greyfax, aka Lyra? Tila, over here. Loads of Zangors, hitting a Space Marine on 1 wound remaining. And only managed to put 3 wounds through, 3-up saves. Can he make them all? He can't make them all.
He's pretty dead.
He does get dragged down, and Beastman steps into the swamp of almost probable certain death.
Okay.
Don't roll a 1.
You're saying that Beastman specifically is then, or his unit?
Yeah, just Beastman specifically.
He's okay.
He's okay. Do you want to consolidate further into the swamp, sir?
No, it feels like it's probable death there.
It's almost certain probable death. Right, any more charging units?
I think that's... Well, I can't do them, so now the Space Wolves get to tear them apart. And
Yeah,
that's
they can't fight until all eligible Space Wolf models can. You could do
Armour of Rust.
So you've got
is
Greyfax, you've got a Land Raider, and He-Man. He-Man, D3 extra attacks. He has 5 attacks. Hits on 2s. What weapon has he got now?
He's got his power axe, which he's got for his scabbard.
Okay. Winning on 3s. 4-up saves. One of the Rubikai takes a wound.
He's got his chainsaw in his back pocket as well, so hits on 2s.
Okay.
And then wounds on that.
I
Okay.
mentioned I had a nuclear warhead in my back pocket. If we're just having back pockets, you kill one.
He does kill one. Brilliant. Now it's time for the Thousand Suns. Smacking a Land Raider.
No, like I can't. Oh yeah, I can hit the Land Raider.
So you pile into the closest model.
Yep.
Which means this fella has piled into the Space Wolves.
Yeah.
And these 2 are going to attack the Space Wolves. 1 is going to attack the Land Raider.
So the Land Raider one first.
Perfectly legit. That's how it works.
I don't think I put presage on this time.
No, 5s.
Nothing.
Nothing.
But what really matters is the Kopesh on them first.
Yes.
And that's everything hits. And that's 1 wound.
Okay.
The minus?
Minus is 3, so it becomes minus 2.
He's
fine.
okay.
4 stave.
2 hits. No wounds.
No wounds.
Interesting. So moving around here to Stratos with his claws hitting the Rubikai, hitting on 2s and rerolling 1s because he doesn't need to.
Explode.
So 7 hits. Forced to wound. Rerolling everything. And these will be 4-up saves because the Assault Doctrine is in effect. And that is 7 4-up saves, Stylus. What is going on? -3 becomes -2 becomes -1. Yeah?
So it's a 4-up save.
Yeah.
Yes, you got there first. Oh, 1 dead, 2 dead, 3 dead.
Then we come all the way here to the Sorcerer on the Rhino with 1 wound remaining.
For the 4th time of asking.
Yeah. Round 4. And he hits
It's
all
everything. He knows exactly where it is now.
Forced to wound.
It's 5 stones, isn't it?
Oh yeah, it's an axe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So -2 becomes -1.
2 4-up saves on the Rhino. And finally,
You look for command points then.
that was a big sigh of relief. Does the Rhino blow up? Rhino doesn't blow up. And finally, what's his name?
Trapjaw.
Trapjaw takes that objective. Right. Back down to Ram Man Noodles, attacking the last two of the Rubikai with his axe.
Power axe.
Okay.
Hitting on 2s.
Yes. Reroll the ones. There's a battle leader nearby.
No, he's not core, is he? He's a character.
Oh.
He's not cool.
Yeah, okay.
Caught you there.
3's to wound. 1 wound. 1 4-up save.
No.
Take a wound on the Rubikai. And I think that's it for all the charging stuff. We did the Lone Ranger. Yes. We've done all the things. So finally, we've got these models. There's a Power Fist with the Blood Claw Sergeant. Smack him back with a Power Fist. Extra attacks because of the Wolf and Stone. 3's to hit. And rerolling the 1. 3 hits. 4's to wound. 2's to wound. EP -4 right now. So invulnerable saves. Each doing 2 damage.
That's 1 dead and one wound left.
And then the guy with the chainsaw gets to attack. And he'll hit on 2s. Reroll 1s. And wound on 4s. 1 more 2-up save. Okay. So piling in to those Space Wolves was not the best decision. Now we can finally fight back with the Rubikai.
And I think I'm going to spend my last CP
Yes.
on Vengeance for Prospero because
There's only 2 left though.
that's a 4-sword stave he's got.
Mm.
All I need to get is 1 hit in and I could kill He-Man. And that's what it's all about.
Can't kill He-Man. I mean, he almost died earlier on, but he didn't really die. He got better. It was mostly dead.
I think if I kill him again, then we'll invent a new rule. He comes back with riding a tank. So let's do the regular guy. We'll hit him first.
Okay.
Because Vengeance for Prospero get to reroll, don't need to.
Yeah.
Wounding him on 4s.
Yeah.
Can reroll because Vengeance for Prospero. Nothing.
That
wasn't important.
He's not very vengeful.
What about Stinkor? Can
Yes.
Stinkor stink up the plans? I wish Death of the Force Emperor was a thing. Everything wounds. I didn't need to do that at all. But
-1.
-1 becomes nothing, so regular saves.
2-up save with the armor reverse.
Did some revs with the Land Raider as well. And then we remembered Tila, aka Greyfax. 4 attacks hitting on 3s. With her mastercrafted power sword, she only gets 1 hit in, and she needs a 4 to wound. And it doesn't wound. That's the end of the fight phase. Now, the Rubikai do not need to take morale. They are fearless. So looking across the battle grid, there is, in fact, no morale to take. But the Thousand Suns take 1, 2, 3 objectives again. So you almost snatched a couple. You was trying to snatch that one over here. So at the end of turn 3, it is 9 points each. Ooh. It's going backwards and forwards and backwards and forwards. But we're running out of assets, and you really need to kill He-Man.
Yes,
at
very
some
much
point.
So.
As we go into Space Wolves turn 4. Here we are after Space Wolves movement phase. They're kind of given up this side of the battle grid here, but they should be on 1, 2, maybe 3 objectives at the end of this turn. The only thing that moved was Tila, who jumped over this way. Stratos. Then we did some psychic shenanigans from Orca in the back and Greyfax killing one of the spawn with smites and mind bullets. And we started the shooting phase with the Land Raider firing into the Terminators. So far the Heavy Bolter and the Storm Bolters have failed to injure the Terminators, but we haven't done the Las Cannons yet. So we're going to do them now, which will hit on 4s, and that's 2 hits, and will wound on 2s. And that's a wound.
4 up. No, you take 1 out.
Land Raider is no longer in combat. Then pistols fired into close combat. A couple of characters took some shots and did no injuries, including some shots that came over here to Evil Lyn from the Rhino and the Priest. The last thing left to fire, though, no damage caused from all of that, is this big squad here, the Guardsmen and the Robots. So this big squad, which didn't move, does get Bolter Discipline, and you are going to overcook the Plasma.
Yes.
Into Evil Lyn here.
Yes.
Okay.
2 shots.
They both hit. Wounding on 2s. They both wound.
She only has 4 wounds left, but a 4-up invulnerable save.
She's got 2 wounds left, and now we have all the bolter fire. And these will hit on 3s. And what's that one?
It's a special 6.
Whatever
That's
he wants it
6.
to be.
It's a limited edition. Wound on 4s.
8 3-ups.
8 3-ups to make.
Yeah. Evil Lynn gets taken
Don't have a
out.
CP, I lose Evil Lynn.
Oh, she goes down. After Evil Lynn went down, Robot fired him, managed to put 1 wound on the rhinos, and the guardsman shot in various directions and didn't wound anything again. So that is the end of the shooting phase. One of the Terminators falling and Evil Lynn. We've got some charges though. This pack is going to go charging into the spawn along with the priest and the commissar. At the end of the charge phase, it looks like this. All the characters getting in, including the robot, Stratos jumping up and over and charging the last of the Terminators, and the Land Raider came charging in again. You're nominating this unit of Rubikai to fight last one more time with He-Man's ability. So now we fight. Starting with Stratos against the last of the Scarab Cult Terminators, hitting on 2s.
Rerolling 1s.
Yes.
Because it's Wolf Lord.
6 explode.
6s explode.
Okay.
And then wounding on
4s.
4s.
Rerolling all failed wounds.
Oh, that was a good job.
There's only 1 wound so far.
4 roll.
It's AP -3 with the Assault Doctrine, which becomes 3-up Sanes after all the modifiers.
3-up saves to make.
Takes
1
a
wound.
wound. Still alive. Then the Land Raider can ram with its 6 attacks. Hitting on 6s.
Yes.
5 because it charged.
5s because
Fives
it
'cause it
charged.
charged.
And 6s explode. 2s to wound. 3 wounds, 2-up saves.
No.
Run over the toe.
One. Ouch.
Down to 1 wound remaining. And now we're on to the Grey Hunters and Fisto against the spawn. Fisto hitting on 3s, and he manages to get 5 hits with 3 attacks. Winning on 3s. And AP -4,
I have no
2
save.
damage a time.
That's 1 spawn and 1 down to half wounds.
Power Sword,
2s.
1 hit. Doesn't wound. Now all the chainswords. 24 attacks.
Hitting on 2s.
5s to wound at AP -2. So no
No
saves.
saves.
1 spawn left on 1 wound. So the commissar with his fist steps up and hits on 4s because it is a fist. And he hits twice. He will squish it and destroy the last of the spawn on 3s. Which he does. Grabs it in his grip and rips its limbs off. Charging models, that's it. So now defenders can respond, but not with that unit.
He will fight those 2.
Okay,
Maybe I can kill him.
okay. The last 2 of the Obsec guys. And you hit all the times.
Okay, I'll wound on 3s.
Yeah.
I've got a power stave. Wound all the times. It's -1, but it's because armor contempt is your regular save.
3 3-up saves. Oh.
D3 damage a time.
On the first one, dead.
And then
then-
dead. I've done it. And he is obsec and they are not.
That worked.
That worked.
That worked.
It worked. Yeah.
So He-Man gets to fight, adding D3 to the number of attacks for another 3. And he hits on 2s. And he misses twice. Interesting. And no explosions there. And he'll wound on 3s. And these are 4-up saves. One of them's on a wound.
One of them's gone.
And that leaves Stinko
Stinko.
left. And Stinko is going to face the might of Raman.
So Raman attacking Stinkor. Hitting on 2s.
Winning on 3s.
Wounding on 3s.
2 wins.
2 wounds.
And
2 more 4-up saves.
I think I've got
What?
1 CP left, so I think I'll CP this one.
Okay.
Nope.
Just 2 4-up saves.
2 4-up saves. 1 wound.
1 wound. So Stinko gets to fight back.
It's 2-up save either way, so we may as well go for the glory shot. Let's
Okay.
try and stink up He-Man.
He hits twice.
Twice.
He wounds
twice. 2-up saves.
And you make both of the saves. And that is the end of Space Wolf's turn 4. Now, interestingly, because of this combat here, for the first time, you don't take 3 points on the objectives. You only have this one and this one. So 11 points to 9 right now. And if Stylus takes 3 points on the objectives again, then Stylus will creep slowly, ever so slowly, into the lead. And it might come down to whoever contains the power of Grayskull at the end of the game. So let's go on to Thousand Suns. Turn 5.
I know you're on Monkey's side, but I get a fourth turn.
Impartial.
I get to have a fourth turn.
Oh, turn 4.
Turn 4.
I'm not. Yeah, I'm on the side of. I'm on the side of biscuits and cookies.
I know.
I'm on your side. Okay.
Thanks, Dad.
Here we are after the Thousand Suns phase. Stylus, if you could tell the world your evil plan.
This is the plan, and it cannot fail.
Okay.
Stinkor has fallen out of combat.
Right.
He can't do anything, but he is in the gates of Grayskull, and he is an OBSEC unit.
Brilliant.
Merman, using his Rites of Coalescence as his Legion power, has healed up all his wounds again.
Okay.
I plan to use the Sorcerer's Facade ability to teleport him out of there.
Okay.
It's just too dangerous around here, so he's going to go right over in that corner where there's only a rhino and contest that objective in turn 5.
That sounds like a plan.
That sounds like a plan. Meanwhile, the Hellbrute has come in here.
Yes.
He's got his guns trained on He-Man and Ram-Man.
Right.
If he can't shoot them, he can charge them. That's the next bit of the plan.
It's about time that the Hellbrute did something, to be
Yeah,
honest.
he's been cooling his heels a bit.
Yeah.
He has come this way just to pour shots on what he can, but he's still holding that objective. Trapjaw is kind of doing his job over there.
Didn't step into the swamp, I noticed.
Did not step into the... But these people did step into the swamp.
3 of them did.
3 of them did, because they're an OBSEC unit as well. I need OBSEC on Grayskull, all these things here. So
Right.
Is he in the swamp as well? Would that be 4? That looks like... Does he look like he's in the swamp there?
I think a better question would be, how desperate are you?
Right. But you said something before. We'll get to it. We'll get to it. 'Cause
Triclops is going to use my only
Triclops.
command point
Yes.
to turn one of his spells into a spell, Temporal Surge, that will allow them to make a second move.
Oh.
So they've only walked once, they'll walk again into the swamp. I'm aware that will mean rolling a lot of dice.
Yeah. We'll
And
only
then
do
they
it
will
once in the movement phase.
And then they will charge the Land Raider, tying up its big guns, because if he just shoots Zangor, that's okay.
Yeah.
And holding that objective.
Okay.
So the plan is 1, 2, 3, 4, and in the 5th turn, 5 objectives will be mine, with an OBSEC unit on Grayskull. Bob's your uncle, victory is Skeletor's. What more can I say?
Okay, so let's see this evil plan come to fruition. First by changing the spell, and secondly by casting the power that allows them to move again, and I forget the name of it all of a sudden.
Temporal Surge.
Okay, go for
Walk
it.
charge 7.
That fails.
It's a 6, and a Thousand Sun becomes a 7. It has not failed.
That passes.
That passes.
So they move again.
They move again to the Swamp of Eternal Death.
Almost probable.
Oh, and almost 4 of them have
4
probably
of them.
died.
4 of them are definitely
That's not good.
sucked down into the bonk of certain death.
Into the bonk.
Bog.
What's going on down here?
Bog of certain death.
Just they were sucked off.
If you
into
get
the bonk.
but if you get bonked quite hard, it could be certain death, right? Imagine if I bonked you really hard.
Okay.
What a way to go.
Yeah, you could probably almost certainly die,
Probably.
depending on what I bonked you with.
That's true.
Yeah, like a really heavy pea wouldn't do much.
Like a chipolata.
But right, next you wanted to do a teleport spell, Stylus.
Well, no, he hasn't finished his turn. He's got a Gaze of Hate.
Has he?
Yeah, which means you can pick out a character who's within 18 inches and not the closest. And look here, I can do him. So walk charge
By
5.
him you mean He-Man?
He-Man, that goes off. And
Okay,
on-
no denial range
I
is
will
too
do
far away.
A mortal wound on a 4 or more. So if I get 3 4-ups. Okay,
One
mortal
4-up.
wound.
He-Man takes a wound. He goes down to 2.
Now
Remaining.
I'm going to do the teleport spell.
Teleport
Sorcerer's
spell.
Facade, the Terminator is going to get out of dodge.
Okay.
I need an 8 for this. Is that cocked? Off he goes.
That works. 11 to deny?
Yes. +1
That doesn't help.
doesn't help.
So you move the Terminator all the way over here.
If you charge him, you
You
could.
put him back in. Why didn't you put him in the trees of despair, which will be closer to that objective?
No.
Last thing in the psychic phase, Cheeky Smite took 2 wounds off the Land Raider. Now we're on to the shooting phase. We're doing the Hellbrute.
Yes, everything into He-Man. He
Everything.
must not live.
Okay.
This is the Heavy Flamer.
1 hit.
Wounds.
wounds in?
Minus nothing.
2-up save. He's okay.
This is the Hellbrute Plasma gun. There we go. 3, finally. I've wounded myself.
Okay.
I wounded you twice. No, that was hits, wasn't it?
Yeah.
I've hit twice. I've wounded myself because it's an overcharged plasma.
always
gun.
overcharged.
Always overcharged.
And it wounds twice. 2 invulnerable saves on He-Man.
Or flat 3 damage.
And He-Man gets taken out. No more shenanigans bringing He-Man back. He's finally gone.
You all laughed at has finally taken out He-Man.
Then there was some more incidental firepower causing no damage. Running out of guns is the Thousand Suns. So we're onto the charge phase.
Zangor are going to charge into the Land Raider.
Okay, no CP to Overwatch. Needing a 7.
That's not it.
That's not a 7.
No.
So they're stuck in the swamp.
And
Obviously, because they tried to move across, I'm
Yeah.
guessing rolling ones again.
I think that's a good idea. The swamp of almost certain probable death will suck off another victim
Number
from the
2.
battle grid, sucking down 2 off the grid into the swampy swamp below. I think this swamp has killed more than... the Hellbrute charging Ranman. This is only a 4 or 5 inch charge.
2 inches from arcade.
That way you can go round in the trees.
Through the trees of despair.
That's true, actually. So don't roll a 1 going through the tree of despair. Oh, you rolled a 1.
what happens when I go through the Forest of Despair?
So what happens when people roll 1s through the Forest of Despair? What happens when you despair?
I normally play him.
You feel sad and you just sort of sit down and go, oh.
Okay.
So the Dreadnought doesn't do anything. He
Nice.
just goes, oh. He despairs. That it's like he remembers the time when he wants flesh and when he was walking around and when the spires of Tiska were gleaming in the sun. He remembers all those times and now he's just upset about
The
it.
plan was working so well until Monkey began inventing rules.
So that's the end of the charge phase.
That's the end of the charge phase.
No charges taken. So you said you'd control 5 objectives by the end of this phase. How many are you on?
I'm on 3.
You're on 3.
3.
But Monkey only took 2. So you're on 12.
Yep.
You're on 11.
Aha.
The Thousand Suns are winning as we head on towards the end game. Space Wolves, turn 5. 1 minute. I remembered the morale for the swamp. I think you lost 5.
You see, I think anything that survives next turn should be easier because I'm standing on all the bodies that have sunk in there.
They sink
Okay.
quickly.
So,
They're insanely
you
brave.
bet they are.
They're okay. With 1 point behind, the Space Wolves need everything they can get. And a lot of things have happened, actually. First up, Guard disembarked from Castle Greyskull. The Land Raider moves round into the swamp of almost certain death. Don't roll a 1. You roll a 2, so it doesn't become immobilized. Otherwise, I'd have pushed it back a bit. Because right now, it is move blocking these angles from getting through this way. So that's what's happened over here. We had the characters come round. And also, who's this guy again? Stratos look like they're going to take on the Hellbrute. Raman, with his jumpy, springing legs, has jumped all the way up and over here, trying to make a charge into a rhino, because if you could lift the rhino for me, please, Stylus. There's an objective under there which he could contest. He's not troops, as he's Wolfguard Battle Leaguer, so equivalent of troops. The Space Wolf stayed still, and then we had some advancing, some Orko.
Orko is advanced to within 3 inches of the objective.
Yes, and the Rhino has bust round here to take on the last of the Scarab Cult Terminators who teleported over here last turn. So currently you're on 1, 2, 3 objectives again, and you might be able to contest this one down here. We have a Psychic Phase. There's going to be a Cheeky Smite coming out from Greyfax, which is a Super Smite.
I'll try and deny it.
And you don't deny it.
Power of Greyfax.
The power of Greyfax, and it wipes out Stinko and
Stinko.
clears the entranceway to Castle Greyskull. Then we moved on to the shooting phase. All the guardsmen unloaded this way into the Terminator, causing no wounds, and we had grenades and pistols shooting into the Hellbrute, causing no wounds.
I forgot to smite.
You forgot a smite?
It could be the most powerful smite in the game.
What, Orko over here?
Orko into Merman.
Okay,
Could be a hero.
go for
Well,
it. Yeah,
Are you ready?
yeah, I'm ready.
1d6 smite, so this is a 6 to cast.
No, yeah, because you already did this
Yeah.
smite, and you get +1 to cast, so you
Plus
need a
1 to
5.
cast, ready. Whoosh!
5 becomes a 6, and it's
Denied.
denied. Okay, so
Nice one, okay.
yeah.
That's pointless.
Yeah,
Sorry,
yeah.
really.
Right, so shootings has happened here. We've got Land Raider and we've got all the Space Wolves still to go. The Space Wolves are going to unload everything into the Hellbrute, but it is -6 to hit because you're shooting through trees and you're overcooking the plasma.
If I roll a 2, do I then kill myself?
No.
Well, I'll overcook them, please.
Okay, keep your finger on the trigger. And both of them hit. You can wound on 3s. One of them wounds, 5 up and bun. And the 2 damage becomes 1 damage, which gets down to 6 wounds remaining. Then we do all the bolter fire. 6 wounds came through, 6 3-up saves. And the Hellbrute takes another wound. It's down to 5 remaining. And then because of the line of sight and range, the last thing left to fire is the las cannon. And it's the Land Raider, and you're splitting fire all over the place.
Yes.
The heavy bolter and the storm bolter's coming into these.
Yep.
1 twin las going that way, 1 twin las going into the Hellbrute. Where are we starting?
Let's do the Storm Bolter first.
Storm bolter?
Let's build up to a crescendo.
Okay. I see 2 hits. Force to wound. I see a wound. And 1 of the Zangor goes. And then 6 shots with the heavy bolters. 3s and 3s. And that's 2 hits. And 2 wounds. And 2 more fall. There's only 2 left. And Beastman itself. Now, twin las cannon.
Into the character. Into Trapjaw.
Trapjaw. Takes a las cannon to the face. And it doesn't wound him.
Oh, bounces off his jaw.
Hellbrute. 2 hits on the Hellbrute. 1 wound on the Hellbrute. Fails the save. D6 damage. For 2, which becomes 1. It's on 4 wounds remaining. And that is the end of the Space Wolves shooting phase. Now we have some charges.
No, shoot in.
What? Shooting?
Into Merman.
Oh, right, okay. Right, yeah. Merman gets hit twice. And wounded once. He is a Terminator.
The Terminator.
And he's fine. Then the Rhino charges into Merman over here. Ram Jam needs a 5 to hit the Rhino.
Ram Jam, thank you, ma'am.
Ram Jam.
Oh, we need a 5, and that's not 5.
Ooh, that's out of. He fails. Did you have a CP?
Wait.
Wait. What?
There might be something. So close. So, with the Wolfenstone, you can reroll charge rolls only for core unit.
It's not core unit.
It's not a core unit.
And you spent your CP already trying to do run moves to get that objective over there.
Yep.
So that is a failed charge. Any more charges?
Yes.
Okay.
A few. So, these guys are charging.
Into the Hellbrute.
Yes.
Yep.
The characters charge the Hellbrute, then the Land Raider charges the Zangor, thank you, unless you roll a 1. And you don't roll a 1, it doesn't become immobilized. Charging Land Raiders are a thing, that's what Space Wolves do. I think that's the end of your charges. You're choosing not to charge off of that objective there. So now, we fight. The Rhino went bang against the Terminator, didn't do any wounds. We're coming across the Land Raider because it might actually be able to do some wounds because Zangors. Yeah, 5s to hit with 6 attacks. And 6s explode. So that's 2 explosions, so it actually manages to get 4 hits. See, this is why Space Wolves charging Land Raiders turn out to be quite tasty. It's strength 8 as well.
2s.
5 saves.
Yes.
And that's the unit.
The Zangors
Mushed
get
them. Beastman goes under the wheels
over.
of the Land Raider.
Ooh. Right. Over here. Stratos attacking the Hellbrute with 6 attacks.
Hitting on 2s.
And 7 hits. Yeah. Winning on 5s, re-rolling all failed wounds. And that's 3 so far. And that's 4 wounds. -3.
That's 3, so 5 up, invulnerable save. I make 2 of them, he takes 2 wounds.
He's down to 2 left. Can the Lord Commissar do it? It's a Lord Commissar apparently, so he hits on 3. After killing the spawn last
Hit on 2s, power fist goes to 3s.
Yeah.
Extra attack is the priest.
Extra attack because the priest. Okay.
2 hits.
Yes.
3s to wound.
Yes.
2 wounds.
2.
5 up in vuns. Make 1. 1 wound gets through, which becomes
1 damage.
1 damage.
And the
Can the
Dreadnought
priest do it?
is on 1 wound remaining. And the priest revs his chainsword and tries to find a chink in the armour.
So priest gets 3 attacks plus 1 for himself because he's shouting hymns at himself.
Okay. 5s to wound. 6s to wound.
6s to
A
wound.
puny human. Nothing.
Ah, no!
Fails to take the Dreadnought out. And that's the fight phase done. So the Hellbrute and the Terminator in the corner can fight back. What are you doing with the Hellbrute?
3 into Stratos, 1 into the Priest, 1 into the Commissar.
Brilliant.
3 for Stratos, hitting
Yes.
on 3s. Okay, 2 hits. Wounding on 2s.
Yes.
2 wounds, -3, flat 3 damage.
Okay, so 2 5-up saves on Stratos. And he's absolutely fine. He dodges to the left. And the priest gets hit and killed utterly. And the Commissar gets hit. And he has a 5-up save. What? The priest has a 5-up save as well.
The priest has got a Rosarius, which is a 4-up invulnerable
Really?
save.
Okay, the priest, a 4-up.
We'll go there. We'll go there.
Okay. Priest is smushed. And now the Commissar, he needs a 5-up
He
refractor
needs a
field
5-up
save.
refractor field.
Yeah. Smush. And the Lord Commissar is down to 1 wound remaining, and for some reason, Stratos is hanging in there. And at the end of that turn, Monkey gets 1, 2, 3 points. We did the fight back with the Terminator in the corner, causing no damage. So 3 points plus the 11 you had is 14. Stylus, you're on 12.
Okay.
Can you take the power of Grayskull away from the Space Wolves? 1 minute. At the moment, you've won the game. 1, 2,
The Rhino makes 3.
3 objectives.
Yeah, I've got 3.
So that is 15 points to 14 without doing anything.
Yeah.
Right?
Right there.
And then we said, whoever controls Castle Grayskull at the end, what are you thinking? You see waving your hands there.
My brain is going...
Yeah, go on.
So, for 0 CP,
Yes,
I can do the heroic intervention strat
yes,
in Stylus's fight phase or charge phase,
right,
which means that, if you remember, Ram Man was he needed a 5-inch charge,
right.
so he could be within 6 to heroically intervene to deny you the objective,
That's true.
to contest it.
He could do that, but what Stylus is probably going to do is something like that.
I've peaked too soon.
So, and move block you. And we did say before the game, this thing with all the stuff is impassable.
Yeah.
So Stylus will still get 15 points to 14.
With a go, with a go.
But,
And then it comes down to who controls Castle Grayskull.
yeah.
And right now, no one's controlling Castle Grayskull. So without Stylus doing anything,
Within 3.
they're not, you say you're in it or on it. They don't have it. And also, these guys don't count. They were the extra models we gave you at the start of the thing to make Prince Thingybob become the Thingybob and turn into He-Man. What was his name? Adam.
Prince Adam.
So are you saying in his bloodlust to run everywhere all over the place and try and kill me,
Yeah.
he's run off all the key objectives?
Yeah, basically.
No!
He could have just sort of embarked in there
Or even just
with them
done that.
and had, just done that. That would have been fine. Because right now you get 3 points. You lost a point in the turn. You're winning 15-14. Whoever controls Castle Grayskull at the end gets an extra random number of things, and you're winning anyway. So it's a Thousand Suns victory. Thanks for watching. What you saying?
I was saying I've got a teleportation spell.
Yeah.
I can teleport on Grayskull,
Yeah.
making it 14 points each.
Yeah, over in that thing.
And
Well,
then-
you're on 15-14. You're winning.
That's true. I was just trying to give him hope.
14 points each, and then you'll control Grayskull, and you'll get the random number,
Yeah.
which we said was a D6, which either way you win.
By a lot then.
Yeah, that would have been by a lot. So
So close.
That
it's a
was close,
Thousand
that was
Suns
so close.
victory.
I thought you had that then. I thought you.
I did as well.
I thought you'd finally, after years and years and years of trying to beat me, I thought you had it then. I thought I was going to shake hands and say well done.
There's nothing worse than losing a game because of one mistake. If I'd have just done that, that was it.
Is the one mistake
You just
facing me? That your one
Touch
mistake?
Touch Grayskull, and then
Would it
you-
be within 3 inches, would you say, for controlling?
Well, yeah, you could have been. I don't know. We didn't really figure it out. In my mind, I had, because it's a pretty big objective. You had to be touching it or something. But within 3, they don't count. Yeah. So, and I was being really quiet during the movement phases because you were really thinking about it and stuff.
I was trying this time.
I know,
I was
and
really trying.
you with the running off the objectives over there to try and get on it, and then it was glorious. The Land Raider charging things again and again and again, but you forgot about Dre. So what a glorious narrative game. GameMat.eu for this stuff here. Urban Mats for this stuff, for the Battle Mat. If you'd like to support me, consider subscribing to deploymentzone.tv or Patreon or channel member, or just throw money at me. I love it when people throw money at me. This isn't the way We wanted to end
Not the way
a
I wanted
nice
to end.
casual narrative game, but at the end of every He-Man, there was a public service announcement, wasn't there?
Victory is mine!
Brilliant, thanks.
Remember, kids, stay on your objectives.
Happy wargaming.